Well, good evening, everyone. We've made it. It's been a wild day of weather across Victoria, and there's predicted thunderstorms later on in the evening, but that won't stop round 6 of Premier A getting underway here at the Melbourne Bowling Club. Deer Park are the visitors tonight. Both sides go into tonight with just one blemish to their season so far, and a win to either means they walk out tonight on top of the table. They're expecting plenty of shot making conversions throughout the evening. And joining me to call all the action for the second time this evening, it's ringside Rodgers and Sara Rodger. How are you going?
Good, how are you going?
Very well.
Bit of a delayed start, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a bit of chaos on the roads, I think, with the weather. A few of the Deer Park lads coming up from Geelong. Tommy Hicks reckons it took him 3.5 hours to get up here tonight. So anyway, they've made it. And we're underway here with the first end.
It is 100% going to be worth the wait. So, absolute cracking start there from Simon Liam. He's all over the jack. And maybe everybody was holding with that second one. A bit more pace on it.
Yeah, it's still, the green looks like it's still held up pretty well here. Just having a look in the roller before the game. Still running a good sort of 15 seconds for the time being.
Well, Altona played here last week, actually, and the feedback from them was that the pace of the green was fantastic. So I think even though there's been quite a bit of rain, there's very good drainage on the green, and it's still getting good pace, good turn. So hopefully the rain stays away and it skirts around us. Fingers crossed. And we get to see the game played through, but prepare yourself at home. I'm sure if the rain does come, there might be a little bit of delay, and that's probably a good time to make a cuppa or whatnot. But stay tuned in.
We'll see how we fare.
So we've got a pretty good matchup here this evening, actually. On the live stream, we've got the very strong Deer Park Rink, and they're playing also a very, very strong Melbourne Rink. So, do you want to go through the Deer Park ones, and I'll go through the Melbourne, or vice versa?
Easy. We'll take a look at the stream rink first, as RJ Bywater's in for another. For Melbourne, so Melbourne leading up, Simon Leal leading, RJ, as you saw there, is playing 2 tonight. Curtis Hanley third, and skippered by Nathan Murray. For Deer Park, this is a fair rink. Chris Green lead, Nathan Bush playing 2. Mark Casey walking back to the mat playing 3, and skippered by BYE-NORRIS. Sara, both these rinks have been on fire in the opening 5 rounds.
Well, with the level of talent that's in JBY's rink, you'd sort of probably wouldn't expect too much less. I actually kind of joke and say it's the Rolls Royce of armchair rides for Jay. So, yeah, pretty handy rink. So, that one of Mark's looked pretty good there, actually. It just caught that short bowl. I reckon it was all over it if he'd just managed to get under that one.
And we'll touch on the lineups across the other 3 rinks throughout the evening. All 3 marquees are down here playing for Deer Park tonight. Matty Bouse, a couple rinks over, has moved up to skipping duties. We saw him earlier on in round 1 playing 3rd to Aaron Sheriff. And Sean Ingham on the rink next door playing 3rd to Ryan Tatum.
I think he just sort of asked a request to move to skip, so he had another chance to get on the live stream, I heard.
I'll have to find out when our next Deer Park game is then. Yeah. I might be waiting until after Christmas, or maybe finals time, you never know.
No, the next one is in about a month's time versus Yarraville. So that'll be, I think that's the final round before we go in before Christmas, actually. And they're 2 teams with a bit of fierce rivalry because they're both in the West, and a lot of crossing over of players. But there's also a very fierce rivalry between these 2 clubs. So we saw them face off in the final a couple of years ago.
Yep.
Melbourne got up with the last bowl by 1 shot. It was a very, very dramatic game. Great for the viewers. And, yeah, I think that rivalry's continued on ever since. There is a few players in the Melbourne side who used to play at Deer Park, so I think that kind of adds to the rivalry as well.
one of those, as you can see on the screen there, Robert Doody playing third for Ben Fern, a couple of rinks across. Also, Ben Hughes is also moved up to third, playing with Bryce Young on the far rink.
And two ex-Deer Parkers, Robert Doody and Brett Spur. So Doody actually went there many years ago when they were still Div 1. He was part of the group that got them up to Prem.
Jay Ball on the first end here, at least 3 down, and has
Great ball.
sat the ball through. Does enough for
Second shot.
second shot.
Still sitting there though, like Phelps has got a great bowl here. I guess they're only having sort of the one there in the head. Phelps, he can sort of get onto that bowl and sit it through a couple of foot. It's probably going to just take that number straight back. So the skips have made it easy for us tonight. One playing with black and the other one playing with white bowls.
Now, aren't we getting confused? Hopefully. We're out here. We've got the marquee set up.
We do. It's a beautiful twilight afternoon here in Melbourne, as long as the rain stays away. And Melbourne Bowls Club, I guess with its close proximity to Chapel Street, is absolutely pumping inside.
Nathan Murray's pretty handy here.
Drew another.
Okay, so
I'm not sure if he
holding
was
2 now.
trying to sit a bowl there and he underplayed his weight and is claiming it, or if he's setting up the cannon for his next one.
I claim it. Absolutely claim it.
Absolutely claim it. Yeah. But Jay just played a fantastic bowl. He's just going to play something similar to what he played last. I think they've got all the back bowls there, so any movement on the jack backwards could be a number there for Deer Park. So I guess it says to everyone he puts another one in the head, or if he decides to play a bit of weight.
He just needs the inside of this white. Just going to drift across. Still a chance. Oh, gone all the way back to the jack's error.
I mean, I guess that's part of playing bowls, isn't it?
Yeah, he wasn't far away. Caught the angle up to the jack, and yeah, Eliza couple themselves for Deer Park. Nathan Murray wants to come.
It actually got a bit of turn. I think maybe he might have Tigers, tonight.
I think you might be right. I didn't check out before the game, but it didn't seem to sweat more than he thought.
With all that spare time.
No.
We did not get the players' bowls,
just
everybody.
trying to
so
stage right.
I think I know most of them, but I mean, Phelpsy has definitely got the XGs. I believe they're actually also Bryce's XGs, so for anyone who tuned in a couple of weeks ago, they'll be recognising these bowls, knowing the line they take. If you paid that close attention.
All right, let's see if he opts to try and draw this one off, or nope. Play something a bit firmer. Sara on the opening end. Not a million miles away. He's got the jack here. Gets a piece of it. Where's that gone? Well, we'll wait to see what happens.
Well, I think they were probably 2 down there, actually. So the team liked it because it sort of cut one out.
Okay, so ended up cutting one out. Jack out to the side. As we thought, eventful opening end. Head change over. Plenty of shot making.
Every skip bowl so far turned over the head. So that's what we want to see. That's what the viewers at home want to see. And I'm not sure if anyone's noticed, but the Melbourne players tonight, they've all got black armbands on. So during the week, they had a very long-time member who was very valuable to the club pass away. So tonight, they're all honouring him by wearing black armbands. So I think they've got their jumpers on, though, so you can't see them. But if they do come off later and you see them floating around, that's what that's one for. The players are still taking a decent amount of grass and getting back to the jack, so I think the green is running pretty decent. She's another great starter there from Simon.
Yeah, he came across Simon, played him up at the Moama Prestige Pairs recently. Played alongside Barry Lester, he was up there, leading up. Played very well, very good weight control, so we see if he can bring that form to tonight, and has early on. Chris Green, not to be outdone. Draws our front touch up. Thank you.
Reply. It was just extra end roll up for Chris. This is the Chris Green that we've seen over the last few weeks. He's been dominating in the front end. Very good pickup for Deer Park, actually. He moved down from New South Wales And that was his club that he decided to head to. And actually, funny story, I played against Simon Leon in his first ever game of Pennant.
Which was?
He was at Murrumbina Park at the time, and I was playing in at Melbourne in the second side. And he bowled amazing, and it turned out it was his first game of Pennant. So even way back then, he was always going to be a superstar. So it's probably a little bit of a different looking Melbourne team from the one that won the final a few years ago, but they're still very, very strong. Like you said, top of the table clash here this evening.
Yeah, first versus third, so Deer Park sit top as it stands. All that on shot difference. And in between them lies Moonee Valley, who've had a hot start to the season.
Moonee Valley playing Altona tonight.
4-1, so I was about to mention another game in action tonight.
See if I've got any updates from that one. Let me have a look.
I believe they started around 6:45, so there might be a few ends ahead of us as RJ not far away here. Gets a bit of contact with the jack and opens it up.
He's opened it up for his skip, but Deer Park sort of did have that side of the head set up.
Yeah, Jay confident they're still holding and
probably a little bit unlucky for RJ that the jack went in that direction and not to the other side where it was better set up for Melbourne. Yeah, good ball there from Case.
Yeah, gets right in behind, gives nothing to work off at all for Curtis, so...
And again, too, with the amount of rain that we've had, like that ball got around those front ones easily. Do you reckon he'll try and draw it, or do you think he'll sort of try and maybe play a little bit of weight and get the split between those two front bowls?
I think he'll back himself to draw it. There's a foot and a half out from those front two bowls there, so give himself 2 chances to draw this one off.
He's an excellent draw bowler. He led in the state side for years. So
just needs to clear this front.
Clear those ones. That's all
Far
right.
away.
Small correction for his next one. All right, let's see how good Case's memory is.
Getting after it. High enough line.
He's definitely
Or
taking
maybe not
grass.
high enough line.
I think he might be
Jeez, it
playing
has
with Tigers
dark.
as well, to be honest.
Oh,
But he did get that bowl that was sort of standing on the running edge, which was easily promoted, but it just kind of flopped out, I think. There you go.
there Nathan asking for a bit more of a stunning run here from Curtis. Trying to crash through some of this front stuff and run on.
He's played this pretty well. He's going to get the split, I think.
Just needs to get up connection. Well, not a great result. Played it fairly well. Still, say a couple light. Casey's bowl just behind the jack looks to be the shot, is it, Sarah? It's sort of funny angles, even looking from side on. Hard to tell.
I think so, but I still think there's a bit of room because that's why he sort of asked him to play that shot. And in the background there, that's Jake Wren.
Here in.
Became a internet sensation after the game the other night.
Trending.
He certainly was. And did not faze him at all.
G played very well.
He did.
Yeah, Jimmy said he took it on board beautifully. So J-Boy just ended up lacking speed there, did he?
Yeah, he just dropped it probably a couple of foot short. Just trying to draw it. So I guess they still think there's room there to draw. And the green's getting enough turn that they sort of can get around those front bowls to be able to get the shot.
I think by the way the boys are looking, it might be, is there more percentage sort of searching up through the front like Curtis tried to play? I think that's what they've decided on.
Well, that's it too. If he gets Curtis's bowl fat onto the jack, it's going to spit back, and they've got the backers now. So I guess that's a pretty good option, and it's kind of framed there for him with Jay's bowl. And if he is a bit wide, that sort of bowl, it does give him another option, so you don't have to be as sort of, you know, accurate with it.
Yeah, slightly more percentage, I think. So even if he opens it up and himself something in the area.
He likes the build-up, Phelps. So we've got Mike tuning in from Wales.
Oh, he's underneath here.
Well, it gets one out. And I guess it just, you know, gives him one to improve on for the next one.
Yeah, Deer Park still holding a couple.
I guess probably
Jay's
now
still with one left, yep.
the danger is before, because they were sort of like, you know, such a wall in there was a lot more options to sort of crash and stay. He probably maybe doesn't want to play the same one again because he does run the risk of taking their bowl out. I think they'd be down quite a few if he did that. Whereas before there was sort of like less option of that happening. So
Wait from Brett Spur on the ring next door. Deer Park hold on to a couple shots.
yeah, they're putting the mat down over there, so they must have still held a couple. So I think Jay's last bowl there maybe might make it a little bit hard for Phelpsy to get in there on the draw. So
Yeah, I think
see how he lines it up if he's going to play something similar again. I just think if they lose their bowl from their head, they might be down a couple.
they might take that chance though, Sarah. Something similar from Nathan. He's
Played it
definitely
more
higher.
controlled. Played it a lot
Ideal
more
result as Curtis's one up here.
Oh, what a
Okay,
bowl.
inside and takes the back one out. I think they might still be one light.
Still, yeah,
That was the case, so it was the front one of Nathan Bushes that was shot. They hold on to that, and a couple singles to Deer Park to open the account here.
Yeah, I think they saw the risk with that one. He sort of played it with just that little bit more controlled, just reaching weight, which is probably sort of one of the harder ones to play. Just playing that perfect reaching sort of weight. Sort of don't want to overplay it there because he would have sort of lost their bowl out of their head and gone down a few. So the day's sort of the sun's sort of starting to fade there with all the clouds, and the lights are kicking in.
And the lights, the brand new spankers,
How good are they?
kicking in here at Melbourne Bowls Club.
Recently updated, weren't they? Looking fantastic.
Correct, so Forest Year A Sports Lining is the contact. We'll see if they hold up during the evening, whether they can give them a good rap at the end of the night or not.
I reckon. Tell us in the comments, what do you think of the lights? You've watched a few Friday night games now.
Yep.
You can start a ranking system on the different bowls clubs and who's got the best lights.
Chris Green corrected pretty well once again here. Getting all the way back to the jack, just about.
So Andrew Brown making comment in there about, I believe Bryce Young's going to be playing up in Ballarat tomorrow. No, Bendigo.
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 Didn't you see his face all over Facebook this week, Sarah?
It's been a big week at work, but I think you'd have to be living under a rock to have missed it.
A lot of love for the new Golden Square recruit. Playing under a promotional permit up there tomorrow, so...
Fantastic concept as well too, isn't it? The
Yeah.
promotional player. There's been a few clubs that have taken advantage of it. It's a pretty good ball here from Bushy. He had very good weight. If he just sort of tightens his line there, he can sort of trail that jack, sit that ball. but ended up in a very good position. It's pretty well set up head at the moment actually for Deer Park. Maybe just looking for RJ to tuck this jack away or sort of just get one in behind in that catching position if he doesn't get it. So we've got some love for the lights already. Feedback is that it's better than they've been the last few weeks. And Bushy just made that correction on his last bowl, tightened his line, sat through Simon's bowl and grabbed the shot. So I'm going to try and work
not
out.
far here. Just to hold on. That's Nathan Bush bowl out the head.
Opens the head up a little bit more now. Probably makes it a little bit more harder to play arriving, but
Just going back to your promotional permit concepts. I'm sure if you saw as well that Corey Wedlock and Aaron Tees going up against each other down in the West Coast Bowls region in a week's time. Aaron representing Winchelsea and Corey playing for Colac.
is that going to be live streamed? I asked that as a stream queen. Shout out to anyone down the West Coast way if you can get a bit of a live stream going. I would definitely be tuning in, even if I'm playing at the same time. Lead life.
Are you playing tomorrow?
Yep.
Who are you playing against?
I think we're playing Glenroy.
Oh, wow.
Do you know anyone from there?
A few new bowlers kicking about.
Oh, do tell, are we going to be playing on the grass or the carpet?
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know?
I do not know.
Guess it depends on what the weather does.
I'll know on Saturday morning when I walk in the front gate. Curtis just on the high side for now, not far away.
It's pretty well set up head here actually for Melbourne. Any movement on that jack there, they're probably going to make about 4 or 5. So Jay just asking Case to put a cover bowl in over there. Ooh, a bit unlucky, just hit the gap there. So if Kurt can get this jack and get it to move about a foot to the right.
Oh, no contact. It's all the way past as well.
Probably not a bad spot though there too, because they were a bit light on Melbourne bowls there. Sort of a few Deer Park ones post that little pack there.
Two of our friends in the comments just confirming that game is going to be live streamed down on the West Coast, so tuning for that. That should be an absolute cracking contest.
I've got a question asking who I'm supporting.
Well, come on. Who's your tip?
My tip would probably actually be Melbourne at home. They know these greens so well. Like, I've never seen another club that puts so much time into practice. Like Tuesdays, Thursdays, hours before they play on a Saturday. Like, the guys here do put in a lot of time on this green. They know it well. They know how the hands run. They know all the tips and tricks. So they probably just get it on the home ground at advantage, I think. So does that mean you're going to go to Deer Park to tip against me? Or?
No, well, I was about to mention I've tipped Deer Park, which pretty much means that Melbourne will win this, because whoever I seem to tip, I'm about the kiss of death of the lawn bowls tipping at the moment.
Alright, what's Phelps got here?
I'm not sure he's got the weight, Sarah. Doesn't.
No, he's coming over for a chat instead. So J-Bo just having another go at playing that cover bowl to that pack there. His first one just sort of glanced off a side bowl and ended up around it.
Turns it another one into the head, so
It probably actually makes it a bit not easier for Phelpsy now, but visually sort of frames the jack a little bit.
Probably fills that gap a little bit more as well, so...
He can be a bit more positive on the draw because he's sort of got bowls he can work off or sit on as well. Be interesting to see what he plays here.
Yeah, that last one of Jay sorted up at least 2 bowls sort of in front of the jack, so it can be used on the way down.
That's it. And you can't be afraid of hitting them. They will count already anyway. So positive up. Proper skips bowl. Curtis has sort of called him for about a yard over.
Nathan Murray, few down. This ball needs to turn harder.
He's got it.
Sarah, what's he got? Oh no. He
Played it pretty well.
turned late and hasn't changed the shape of the head at all, unfortunately, for Melbourne.
Big count there for Deer Park, actually. 4 was the signal. I've got some inside intel that Glenroy liked.
Inside intel?
Well, it's in the comments. So
Well, you've got mixed inside intel from the comments. Who are you going to believe?
Oh, look,
Are you going to believe Jim or the viewers?
No, I'm going to believe, who was it who said there to bring my gum boots? I think that's the best tip that I've seen. Bring the gum boots. And as we say that, it starts raining
I was on cue. You brought that, haven't you? Yeah, it wasn't going to rain otherwise.
That's all right. These guys are pretty resilient. I think they'll play through it until it either starts to come down too hard or it starts puddling. And as we speak, we're all going to the Bureau of Meteorology on our phones to have a look and see if this is one that's going to pass or... So, did they try to go long there and it went in the ditch? Or did
I
they try to go
missed it.
short?
I missed it. I have a funny feeling. I missed the jack roll.
Yeah, not a bad opening here from Chris, actually, considering he didn't pick the length. So, from what I've seen, I think that's probably actually a little bit tight for Simon's bowls. I'm spilling up out there. We're having some technical difficulties, it's fine. It's mostly user error. Good correction here from Simon. The other good thing about that with where his first bowl ended up too, any contact on that bowl is probably actually going to pop it over to his, so 2 good bowls there. So the rain's sending a few people packing inside, but there's still a few spectators sticking it out, getting the brollies out. So
It's a good crowd. There's plenty of happening. I've never been down here before at the old Melbourne Bowls Club, but it's absolutely packed inside and out on the background as well. They've got barefoot bowls happening on a Friday night. There's
still
plenty of
all out there
activity.
too.
Yeah, they're still out there. There's a few brollies and
it's not
few bowls
phasing
being
them at
thrown
all.
down as well.
The other beautiful thing is too, you've got those windows that all just face out over the green, so you can sit inside in the warmth and the comfort and be able to see what's happening. Two great bowls here from Bushy.
Played that well, as you mentioned, Sarah. Not the only game on here tonight. Also action down at Altona Bowls Club there, playing host to Mini Valley.
Big touchdown there.
Yeah, sort of. I was going to say early days. Actually started a little bit early up. Mini Valley currently ahead 29-19 on the big board. Matty O'Brien currently ahead 12-2 against Nathan Wilson's 4. So RJ not far here.
Played this very well.
Jack movement, and it's sort of just hung around for the meantime.
No, he's done
Possibly
very well
still
there.
down, but good shot either way.
That's it. He's got another one in the area. They sort of, the way that Simon's bowl sort of came out, it didn't really give Melbourne a very well set up head. They seem to sort of be preferring that other side of the green. Otherwise, I would really think that the shot there is on the backhand, but they all seem to sort of be favouring that side. I think because it's just sort of getting that little bit more turn. Smart can be pretty positive with his draw here. He's got the option to sit that bowl now out of RJ's, or he'll end up in a good catching spot. That turned a mile, didn't it? He must have, yeah, I think, pretty sure Case is playing with the Tigers. I think Simon's got XGs, as does Nathan. Kurt's got the Drakes. He's played with Drakes for a very, very long time. Actually can't remember him bowling with anything else. And I think RJ, he was playing with like Premiers or something a few years ago, but I think he changed to the XGs as well. Great bowl here by Kurt.
Just needs to hold on.
Yeah, what a bowl. Bit of unlucky with the result.
Oh, Tate getting very animated on the ring next door, asking for that one to hurry, as you would have heard. Here's Rink up and about early as well. 6-0 after 3, as you can see on the screen. And for as well of the Stream Rink and Ryan's Rink next door have started, so was Bryce Young. 7-0 after 3 ends against Aaron Sheriff as Casey draws a touch up, makes 3, but gives Curtis a look at it now.
That's it. It gives him a look. There's probably a great little funnel there between those. Yeah, that's what Phelps is calling. Up between those two bowls. Bear Jack. Get a couple of the bowls out. Hang around. So it looks like Taten's 4-hour car trip up here has not fazed him at all. Off to a very big start. And we've got Barbara Green tuning in. She's an avid streamer. And she's also from Tarrant Point, which is where Clean.
Oh, wow, what a shot by Curtis Hanley. Gets it all the way into the ditch, follows it right in.
That will be very tough to beat in these conditions. And I think from memory, the only touches that are on there are RJ's and I can't remember if Simon's was at the start. I don't think he's quite touched.
There was Case's last one as well. I don't think they'll come into
Cases.
play.
Well, they do. He does have the option to sort of hit it and try and get it into the ditch as a second shot or shot. But Curtis is only half a foot maybe off it.
Yeah, not even. It's going to be super hard to draw off. Joe's looking to get a good second here. Well, that's what he's done. He's played that. That's a pretty good bowl.
He's yeah, great bowl. He's cut out a couple of Melbourne ones. I think that's RJ's one back there. As you can probably see on the TV, it is really starting to pour now here.
Big shouts of Omar from the far rink. A few down, and the Deer Park boys are on the board there.
We've got someone tuning in from Japan. Lee, do tell, are you travelling at the moment and tuning in, or are you just living in Japan and watching bowls? So Phelpsy probably looking for the bowl here.
I think he's got it all the way.
All the way.
What a shot, and it stayed on the edge. Oh, that's an enormous shot.
This is a huge end. Where would you rather be on a Friday?
Unbelievable shot.
This is just such a good game. And
somehow
we're
it stayed on.
N4.
What a bowl. So instantly puts Jay right back under the pressure here. What are we saying, Sarah? 3 down at least.
3 and probably I think
a very
maybe
good 2.
That for, I mean, Jay can't overplay this. He's got to get one in there to cut that one out, and probably not sort of like leave it out in the open for it to be sat through again.
Oh, this is pretty well played as well. He's going to get a good.
Yeah, that's what he's done. He's tucked it in there. So
very good 3rd shot, I think.
So I think probably a little bit harder now for Phelpsy, but he could still follow it around and get around that, or he could pump up RJ's onto it.
He's almost singly might try and play something the same. It might be easier, but just jokingly we'll try and draw as close as he can, but content with a pretty good 2, as you can probably hear in the background.
Oh, it's coming down, isn't it?
It is coming down.
I reckon he'll probably... They want to get this bowl down, Melbourne, because they don't want to be delayed and off too long that the end has to be replayed, because even 2, he will be valuable after dropping that 4 before. He's not loving it.
I think he's asking for it to sit for speed. Oh, did need to see sort of put his hand out to signal it might have been quick, but not to be in it.
It probably was actually the right weight before it started pouring down. So
another high quality end, and Melbourne are on the board with a 2 here at Melbourne Bowls Club for Friday night Premier A action. Melbourne hosting Deer Park here in the rain. It's all brought to you by our sponsors, the Moama and Dandenong Bowls Clubs.
And how great are the sponsors? Like, ordinarily I'd be at home watching this in the warmth of my house. But
that's not the spirit.
For all those at home who are tuning in, how lucky are we that we've got such fantastic sponsors that you're able to stick at home on a Friday night when the weather's like this and watch bowls. So we had some great visual from Brad there from a second ago, just looking at the head. You could just really see how heavy the rain is coming down. So players doing pretty well to be staying out there. But at this level of the game, like you wouldn't expect them to go in at all. It's another great opener there from Simon Leon. He's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think the boys that had come up from Geelong tonight will have driven 3.5 hours stuck in traffic for 4 ends of bowls.
No. No, I think there'll need to be lightning for them to come off. So I can't tell the pace of Chris's, but thought he was going to pick up the jack there, but it just ducked as it got to the head. So Bryce Young's off to a flyer over there. They're kind of the furthest rink away, so I can't quite see what's happening over there to see where the damage is coming from. Another good bowl there from Simon. I think that's the first bowl Chris has played over that side. I can see why the players are tending to... Actually, no, I think he's played his first one there. He just overcorrected. Still a bit of room there for Deer Park though. It's probably about a good foot. And Bushy's played this very well. Probably, if he just missed his line a little, he's just got to correct that and he will absolutely nail it on the next one. Let's see if RJ's made the correction here. Just run through again as well. Jack moves a foot, it'll be great for Melbourne, but a lot of room there for Bushy to correct on his last bowl and nail the jack and get the shot. All right, so the players have been very consistent this end. They've grouped their bowls well.
Yeah, after the jack was moved off centre, they've sort of been in the area, including Curtis Hanley, who has added to the count of a...
Another one in the pack there for
Well,
Melbourne
it looks
as well
like
too.
there's a few. It's tricky to tell. It's a sort of kind little port to play into, though, for both sides.
Case has played this pretty well, actually.
Who's going to nail this first? Getting all the way down here.
Yeah,
And sits in for shot bowl. Well played, Mark Casey.
it's kind of just still open there, wasn't it? It was just waiting for someone to sort of really get one in there a bit closer. So I think Kurt's got the option here as well too. He can sort of...
Well, he needs to run the trip. Not far away, absolutely smoked the track. Important case needs to play the same bowl here and get another one in. More similar area, I think.
Sort of asking it to hurry, but I think it looks okay to me.
Oh, geez, he's done well. Needs to hurry all the way out of the jack.
Yeah, what a bowl.
Wow, that's two very good bowls.
Bowling very well.
There may have been a chance for Melbourne to make a few the way that head was developing, but...
Yeah, it's
Those
probably a bit
last two
harder now.
bowls.
I think that forehand's blocked, so sort of the way in's backhand, and any touch of the jack actually is probably better set up for Deer Park now than what it is for Melbourne. Those two bowls are bushy there. We've got Jeff tuning in from Eastwood in the UK, and he said it's good to know it's bucketing down here too. So guessing there's a bit of rain over in the UK at the moment as well.
Phelpsy
Good
needs to
bowl
clear
here
this
from
front one.
Phelpsy. Oh, good. Gave it a red hot chance. I think he might have cut one out. I think it might just be the one now. Jay got, ooh, I think he might have actually just turned Phelpsy in there.
Just making sure the commentary booth stays intact for the evening.
Yeah, so we're doing a little bit of storm season prepping here.
A few renos for the storm season.
Yeah. They're filling up the sandbags.
Nathan Murray to fall in. Well, it wouldn't be far away.
Not far at all.
Simon Leon happy. He's put the finger up for I'm holding shot.
So anyone watching at home can see there is quite a bit of rain coming. And they're making sure that the talent is protected, and they're battening down the hatches around us and putting down all the wet weather gear. But I think really they're actually probably just protecting the gear, to be honest, not us. Don't you think, Sam?
Shout out to Brad from SEN, the man behind all the action.
The man who makes it all happen.
Does a cracking job. Every week he's out here.
Not only does he bring these amazing graphics, but he's also good at putting the occasional little GIF across the TV, which we love.
Sometimes.
Oh, there goes JT.
All right, Jay by possibly one down here. We think Melbourne holding shot.
I think he looks
Still
like
got a lot to play into. This plan up the front. Doesn't want to turn this one in.
Stun and run by the looks.
Well, I think we're going to see a tape. Yeah, I think we are. Yeah, tricky angles to determine who's shot.
It is a little bit. So now that the hatches are being battened down, we're sort of like looking at the screen as well too. So your view at home is as good as ours, but that's okay. We would prefer that to being out there and getting wet.
All right, so assuming it's on the one either way. Nathan Bush to the side here has just signalled one to Deer Park. He's pretty confident. Boys have asked for the umpire. Best thing about tonight is we've got two of them on hand.
Yeah, mate, coming.
We've got the umpire here helping batten down the hatches. So whose rink is that one over there that's jumped out to a 9-1 lead? Is that was that Bryce's rink or is that Fern? I think that's Ben Fern actually. Can't see the other two scoreboards. So Taten's now out to 7-1 lead, and Sheriff's on the board, 7-2.
Yeah, missed that, Sarah. So 5 to Benny Fern's crew there, and they've jumped out to, as you said, 9-1 after 5.
Yep, Sheriff now is still down, 7-2.
Yeah, so
7-2 to Bryce.
couple of singles in a row there for them on the far rink.
And then, I mean, of course, everyone at home, if you want to get down to the more minute detail, you can go to Bowls Link. So all the games in Premier this year being live scored by the players. I think it's a bit of an adjustment period for them, but I'm loving it.
So I don't know about you last week, Bundu and Moonee Valley. The late game, they started a little later last week on Saturday at
Yep.
3 o'clock. So the old Bowls Link was getting a good refresh on the way home to tune in that one and went down to the last couple ends the result. And not for the first time this season. Moonee Valley came out on top, Sarah.
Yeah, they've had a stellar start to the year, haven't they?
Was knocking off Deer Park earlier in the season as well.
And they're the only team to have beat them for quite some time.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys from Ocean Grove will point out that they got them in Champion of State Pennant, but that's with the 3 rinks. So does it count? Doesn't it count? Let the controversy roll in the comments.
Over to you.
Over to you, everyone at home. So yeah, so that was a big scalp from Moonee, and also on Deer Park's home turf, which was a big get. A lot of people do find that green a bit tricky. So I think they're having a bit of a close one at the moment against Altona. So I can't name names, but I have got some intel.
Intel.
Intel. So
Intel that I don't have.
So you know how before I was tipping Melbourne
Yeah.
and saying that, you know, there's no other club that I've ever known where they spend so much time out there practicing. Word is they were out there last night from 7 till 9:30 practicing so they could get the hang of the lights and, you know, just know that, and playing it at this time of night. So pretty good dedication by the boys.
So we take another look at the lineups while there's this breaking play, close measure going on. Our stream rink there. Both these rinks have been firing. Both are 4 wins and 1 loss to start their season. Nathan Murray has had Curtis and RJ alongside him every game so far, and this J-By rink has remained the same every week. And 1.5 is the outcome of that measure, so 1 to Deer Park.
1 to Deer Park. I'm just doing some maths.
Quick maths. Yeah, well, Altona
Up by
have
1.
fought back here and now hit the lead.
Yes, I've got them up by 1. Is that what your calculation is?
Oh, I didn't get that far.
Okay, that was, I was just doing the last Rink maths in my head. So it looks like the Hayley O'Reilly, Colin Davis, Cameron Wilson and Maddie Lal Rink are doing the damage for Altona.
Yeah, 12-4 up against Kane. They've put together 5 ends in a row. Aaron Wilson on N9 has picked up a 7 against Dylan Fisher. They lead 11-9.
7, wow. You don't really see big scores like that much in Premier League, do you?
And the only Rink that's undefeated so far, which is, I'm not sure if it's a surprise or not, given the quality of our Premier A's lining up this season or not. It's Nathan Lynch's 4 of Brad Gibson, Jack Thompson, Riley Boxall, who we saw earlier on in the season in the MCC. They lead 11-7 against Dave McKinnon. And Matty O'Brien still ahead, 12-7 against Nathan Wilson. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And as you said, Sara, so can you. At home, scored in by end out there. We'll keep a good eye on it throughout the evening. As we were here, it's been a high-quality start to this game, which we thought it would be.
We knew it would be, yeah. So, but actually I was going to say on that, there was a few weeks ago I was at home and I had the live stream on the TV and I was watching 2 lots of live scores on my phone. It was a great way to spend a Friday night.
You had all the devices going at the one time, yep.
Literally.
Evening, Brendan Elliott tuning in on Facebook. Doesn't miss many streams as Brendan. Good to have you on board, mate.
It's a good correction there from Simon. He's bowled very well. And we can see over Melbourne Bowling Club there is some very dark clouds coming. Some good ball there from Bushy. I think it's got the shot. So aside from that sort of umpire measure, which was very close, there's not been too much mucking around out there from the guys. They're wanting to get through the ends because we do know that there is a bit of a storm coming and there may be some time that play is going to be called off for. Of course, there's the lightning rule, so if there's any lightning, the players need to leave the green. I think is it a period of half an hour they have to stay off between the last strike?
Yeah, so play will stop straight away if there's any lightning around and won't commence until 30 minutes after the last sight of lighting. And if after an hour of play being suspended the game cannot continue, then we'll pack up shop. But
we'll come back and do it tomorrow and finish it off? Or?
I think we'll hopefully
a few flights to be caught maybe.
Hopefully we'll get in before then, and I think you might be right, there might be a few flights to catch as well. There's RJ's just on the high side here. Deer Park, his front end going along very nicely, holding a couple as Casey makes his way back to the match.
Yeah, Bushy just executed a very good 2-bowl plan there. He used his first bowl to come off to get the shots right onto the jack. So sort of, I can't quite see how the bowl's sitting there, but might be on there for Melbourne to sort of play one on the back end and maybe tap the bowl onto the jack and it'll come over to that lead bowl of Simon's and RJ's, like kick over to that side of the head. Especially now that Mark's popped that one in there on the way in. Got an update here, it's raining at Altona, so Sharon, do let us know, are they playing through, have they come off, or how heavy is it?
All right, Curtis with work to do here, couple light.
Ooh.
He's missed his weight.
He has. That was definitely probably one that he needed to sort of be a little bit more arriving on because he did have that option to move the jack out. But, I mean, look, it's pretty hard for the players at the moment. We've just had that big downpour of rain. You've got to adjust to your pace again. But that being said, though, too, these are quality bowlers.
So I'm surprised the viewers haven't asked, where's Jimmy tonight? Aside from being in the chat.
Yeah, the viewers haven't asked because they don't care.
Oh, I thought they would have expected to be in here with his biased commentary.
No, he was on the other week.
I think he's very good.
He was pretty intent on the fact that he jumped on commentary and we had our first real close game of the season on BVTV. Of course, ending up a draw.
We're going to get one tonight, so it's fine.
The way it's going, it is. Still plenty of ends to go. As Matty Bouse of Rinks overplayed a real good one with his last to pick up a 3 after dropping 5 the previous end, and Curtis has flicked his own and run away from the head. Deer Park holding it at least 3.
It's a good opportunity here for Jay, just sort of try and add another. It's like the other rinks are sort of going to battle it out a little bit, so they kind of need, or you always really need one rink to be able to sort of get a big score and make it comfortable for the rest of you when you are having those tight battles.
Boys asking for a clear road on this one.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, maybe, yep. Yeah, I reckon that might be nearly enough to count, so...
Yeah, I actually think Melbourne's closest bowl is that back one from Simon Leon, just off to the side there.
Yeah, so at least 4.
It's probably...
What do you reckon, backhand draw here for Nath, or... There is the option to search up, but there is gaps as well. It's not a huge target.
He's such an excellent draw bowler. Like, I would back him to draw this and cut it back. Yep, you called it. The line looks good. It's all down to 8 now.
He's played this very well. It's no longer 4.
Yeah, what a bowl. Called it. Backed him. Phelpsy, if you're watching this later.
Yeah, it gets... Looks to be second shot. It's in a spot that Jay can't move that out of the head whatsoever, really.
No, well, that's it. It's probably not in... Like, you know, he's got that front bowl covering it. I think that's Jay. No, whose is that one on the way in? RJ's, maybe. And, I mean, they do have the backest, but... But that being said, though, Jay is a player who can find ways to get bowls out ahead, so never say never when Jay is putting down the bowl. Right, looks like he's just on the draw here.
Oh, what
Played
is
it
this
very
for a
well.
shot? Oh, wow, what a fantastic effort from BYE-NORRIS.
Very good effort. So the boys having a good look here, trying to see if they can find a way to be able to get the shot this end. I mean, they do have the option of the plant on RJ's front one onto Phelpsy's last one onto the shot bowl. That would push the jack back over to where RJ's and Simon's is. I feel like maybe that's what Kurt's looking at. That hand is turning though too. You can hit that gap and get a clear road and take the jack back clear as well too. Guess there is a bit of traffic though, so you probably just don't want to really turn something in and add to the count that you just cut back. So risk and reward is how I've heard the skipper's job described as. Right, so he's electing for the backhand, which is another way to be able to get onto that bowl and push that jack over.
Just got to get just on my side, wasn't far away.
Good weight for it. Two's the signal.
2 shots it is. Yeah, this stream rink of BYE-NORRIS who have played well. They've probably just been in front of the lead in second department, which has been setting it up nicely for Mark and Jay so far. 9-2 after 6 the scoreline. Means a very close game. Deer Park just sneak out on the overall. Another 2 to Aaron Sheriff on the far rink. So after conceding the opening 3 ends and 7 shots, they've now strung together 4 ends in a row over there.
Yeah, we're getting lots of messages about the rain that's happening.
It doesn't sound great.
Does not. So we're pretty well protected in here, but
Yeah, not out on the green.
no. And these boys, they will play through it as much as they can. So I think it'll take, for those at home, it will take a bit for the guys to actually come off.
Of course, if we get to 60 ends on the overall, Sarah, that'll be enough for a result to count here. So
How many ends, sorry?
60.
60,
So
okay.
we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
All right. I think as well, too, I heard earlier that they have 5 hours to complete the game. So we kicked it off about 8 o'clock. So if they do have a delay,
Yeah, it
then
was probably a touch earlier in the end.
yeah,
It was
maybe
closer
about
to probably
7:30.
7:30. So
Yeah.
5 hours from the start of the game. It being a Friday night game, of course. So
Geez, another great set there from Simon. He is bowling fantastic. Great pickup for Melbourne. Was that Brighton last year, was it? Simon? No?
not sure.
Not sure? Okay.
So what you think?
He wasn't
You know
Brighton.
better than me.
But I don't know if that... Yeah, I think he's just come across this season. And I think it came about because him and Simon Kennington played in the region men's pairs together.
They won that.
They
they?
won and they became runners up in the state champs up in Bendigo. So I reckon that was Simon Kennington who got him over the line to Melbourne, is what I'm calling. That's not verified information, it's pure speculation, but that's what I'm thinking the connection was to get him here. And it's paying dividends for him at the moment. He's absolutely dominating. Being very well backed up by RJ as well too.
Simon in action here tonight, leading over on the Ben Fern Rink, who were tracking along nicely. They picked up a 5 earlier on. Matty Bowser's crew have wrestled that back with a 3 and a 2, so score 9-6 after 7 over there.
Bushy's just played an absolute bomb there. Do you reckon they're both touching?
I think Phelps just saying, we are one, but got to play this as if they're down here to
Well, I think their
play
heads,
that last bowl through if possible.
head's set up better for them for Melbourne at the moment. So they're better off playing it like they are down and trying to turn over the head and get the shot back. I think it's just a little bit too tight for that hand. But he's got good weight, so he's ended up in the area.
Well, it's another one in the head for Melbourne, yep.
Little straightener off the front bowl helped correct the line.
So just a few run of ends here from Deer Park across all 4 rinks. Of course, back-to-back ends here for BYE.
Great ball here from Case.
That's absolutely great shot. Gets third and more importantly,
mitigates that danger that was there. Any
Yeah,
jack movement
that's
was
it.
going to give a number for the boys, so
Give
he's
another
played that
bowl, yep.
perfectly. I think it also might force Kurt over onto the other hand as well too for this shot. It's probably now more looking rather than trying to sit the bowl out because it's quite sort of a bit more protected and locked in there. He's sort of probably going to look to play it on the other hand and actually go for the jack movement or just turn it out. I think that is the tighter hand, even with that Chris Green bowl sort of on the way in. I think that there's a chance he might be able to get under that to be able to play that shot. But we will see once they've made a decision. Decision made. What do you reckon it's going to be?
I think it's going to be the backhand underneath, isn't it?
I think so. Arriving weight.
That's a little ring on the backhand side, isn't it, Sarah?
Yep.
Oh, my eyes deceiving me.
Yes.
It is. All right.
All right.
Trying to
He's
sit
played it
this
pretty
one
well.
underneath.
He's under. He's just got to hold. Got it.
Yeah, he gets the ball through and the jack just wrestles around and
Geez, he got the ultimate result there with the
Onside with
jack.
bowl.
It turns that side toucher into a back hopper now, which makes it a little bit trickier to get out. And Case has played this pretty well. They've sort of got the option now to play the shot first that Deer Park are trying to play because it is RJ's bowl there on the catcher. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what Nathan calls now. Swaps him over, looking just to touch that jack and tuck it away. So Chris's bowl at the front there sort of covers it up and makes it a little bit harder to get to. Yeah, I think that's what Phelps is going to call him on. It's kind of funny, actually. Melbourne are really an up and about side. They've actually been probably a little bit more quieter than what I'm used to seeing them. Do you think they've just decided to just sort of step aside and let Mooney have it? Be the loudest team in the competition? Okay, he didn't play what I said, so Phelps, if you're watching that later, I think I made the better call.
wow.
But it does cover up that bowl, though. I think they're still holding, and it does really cover up the bowl and the jack there. It makes it a little bit harder to get to. And the way it's set up at the moment, probably the only way is on the forehand, and if they do any contact with the jack, it's going to pop out over to RJ. So still not a bad setup there for Melbourne. Alright, Jay's probably just a little bit on the high side.
Yeah, signalling that as well, a bit of it.
Get down. I think with that weight and that
on the
line, I
far
think he's actually probably just going to try and draw it, which you'd absolutely back Jay to do. Like, he's won 2 Vic Open titles for singles. To win a singles, you've got to be a good draw bowler, especially in the men's. So I'm going to back him to get it. Rain's holding off so far. Probably just a little bit high as well, but geez, he's got great weight to draw the shot. I think if he tightened his line and plays that same bowl again, he'd absolutely draw that. He's left a lot of room for Jay, so... Ben Burns just played a bomb over there. So it is a very subdued Melbourne tonight. They're normally a lot more louder and up and about and vocal on the green. So
Alright, Jay's on a tighter line. But he said he's gone a bit quicker, so... I used Nathan's bowl to draw it, though. I think they're down with that. Change in the head, and Phelps is coming up to have a look, have a conversation. It's probably not the best setup for the back end. Any contact. Bushy's bowls are over there to the left. So you probably don't want jack movement to the left-hand side. That kind of takes that shot away, and I just don't think that with Kurt's bowl there, you're going to be able to just draw under. I don't know. I still back him to draw it on the forehand. So the young and Sheriff Rink on the end, so Bryce got out to a bit of a lead. He was up 7-zip, but Sheriff's Rink's fighting their way back into it. 8-5 now. Right. Well, Phelps is playing that back end, looking for that bowl. He's played it pretty well. Out clean. Beautiful.
Wow, what a great shot. Nathan Murray does enough for one, and
great bowl.
You might have picked up there on the mic. Nate's just saying hard work. It sure is when you're playing the calibre of this rink that Deer Park have got together here, and it
the
side like they do.
The Rolls-Royce armchair.
And just about every game that gets played in Premier A this season for both sides is going to be hard work. The quality of teams and
just the calibre
players and marquee players we've got coming down from interstate. Just quality everywhere you look. It's making for a great game across the board. So, although Deer Park have snuck out on the overall, that's a big shot there by Nathan Murray, and as you can see, acknowledged there by Jay Byrne.
Well, most of the damage is coming from that Tate rink, isn't it? Just next door.
It is. It just keeps ticking the board over. Sean Ingham is playing third, and
it's a good
another half-5 on cue we saw just there. So looks to be
it's kind of funny too.
Well,
I was just sort of saying about how Melbourne are being, fairly quiet, especially for Melbourne, and Spurry's a player who's actually normally up and about. So I'm wondering if that scoreline is sort of why maybe they're a little bit quieter out there. But usually when he's down is, when he sort of gets a bit more up and about. So I wonder what's happening there. So Simon Leon continuing his fantastic form as lead. Nails it again. So I really like the way the boys, just took a time out, had a mat chat before starting the end. Just to sort of try and maybe stop that momentum a little bit and slow the game down, perhaps. Yeah, two great bowls again from Simon. And this is a very good reply here from Chris. He just needed another foot of weight, and he probably would have either sat that one through or just sat onto it and flopped down for shot, but got the other side of it. But still a good second shot. RJ again providing very good backup as the second in this rank. Great ball here from Bushy. Just just kind of ducked away from him, but it's ended up in a very good spot. He's been playing very well in the second roll tonight. It's funny, it's uncharacteristically quiet on the green here for Melbourne, but it's absolutely pumping in the clubhouse. There's still a lot of people about. The barefooters in the back finally went in. I think when it finally got too dark for them to continue. But if they had these lights out the back, they'd still be out there, I reckon. Because it is just like daylight out there. Alright, see if Bushy's made his correction.
I love the, Benny Fern, a couple of rinks across.
Just played another bomb over there.
Rink is the one keeping Melbourne in the game here at the moment. Quick little around the grounds. Altona have snuck out to a 8-shot lead on the big board, Sarah, about halfway through on the overall in terms of ends. Leading 44 to 36 now, so an intriguing contest. Unfolding. Bryce Young and far Rink, a bit of a sort of a smack of the hands in disapproval of either the shot he played or the result he got. There's an offset to Jack, and
I think Sheriff's just, they've drawn it though.
Yeah, I think he's just adding to the count there as well, so
oh, was he?
Might have been a number. Curtis plays fairly well, just needs to sort of settle it in. Standing that bowl up, so
yeah, probably not a bad result, that one. He sort of
and like you said, Sarah, we haven't heard a lot of it, but for the first time, a few shouts of Spurry on the ring next door.
Yeah,
plays a good one, and
he's a very big up and about player too. Like once he gets his sail up, there's no stopping Spurry. He's a momentum player, so it's good to see his Rink getting around him and getting him up and about.
Jakey Rin playing third for him tonight has the tape out, so score there for Melbourne. Nathan Murray weighing up options here, actually holding one and wanting to get another one in the head without giving Jay any sort of target.
Well, that's it. Jay's an excellent bowler for.
He doesn't need any
if there's an angle.
other help of a Jackite, Phelpsy bowl or something like that.
That's it. Sounds like Balsy just played a bomb in reply, so which they kind of maybe need a little bit. Like it's five's the difference, which isn't the end of the world, but get the boys up and about. Right. Just a little bit.
Just needs to get past this one and turns it a roll, and
it's a good bad bowl.
Probably gets himself in the count as well, so
opens it up for Jay though. He does have a very good weighted shot.
Yeah, interesting to see how much he plays here, because Jack movement's just as good for them, so
well, he gets the edge of the white. He'll probably get the edge of it and get them both out.
Yeah, you're right, Sarah, looking for both bowls here. He's got this one fat through the Jack, and
is it dead?
Straight out of bounds, and we'll replay that one. Wasn't far away there from getting either angle of both bowls. Has got that one fat through the Jack, and we'll
look. Normally
restart.
Normally, I'm all for a kill. I love seeing more ends played, but tonight with the weather coming, I think they'll be hoping to. Oh, that's a great shot of the clubhouse there. Yeah, with the weather coming, you probably don't want too many dead ends, so you can sort of try and make the 60, rather than having a. I've actually had one before that was. It was a heat out day, and we were on our last end, and the opposing team killed it to make it only 59.
And you were how far in front? 20 shots, 30
we
shots?
were a lot in front, yeah. So So it was a 59 end roll up. Yeah, good start again there from Simon. Chris just did a little bit of a rooster kick back there when he put that one out. So it says to me he doesn't like it, but it's behind, so it's in the game. Alright, Simon's chasing this one, so he must like it. Yeah, pretty good correction there. I've just felt the air change a little bit. How is that radar looking? Just sort of been like a little bit of, the temperature sort of dropped a little, and oh, great ball here from RJ. He's played very well in second tonight. It's sort of an underrated position. You got to be there to cover if your lead's on it, but if your lead's not, you got to get the shot. So very underrated position, I think. Though, you know, lead's the most important position.
Is that so?
Yep. Yep. I'm a lead for life.
Nathan Bush not far away. Chance here for RJ if he can turn this jack around the corner.
Yeah, it's great ball if he can turn around the corner there. Probably make 4 and it'll really sort of shut the head down.
Might only be one chance to make it happen. Wow, he's fall back onto the line's pretty handy.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he, as we've seen in the last few ends, if he doesn't pull off the shot, then Bushy gets in there with his second bowl and
yeah, that's what
shuts
important
it
to
down.
get that one as soon as possible. I was still there to get.
That's it.
It's done fairly well for now. Nathan Bush.
Played this pretty well. I think he might peel the...
See, what did you turn the ball over here and made a shot? Oh, Sarah, what a shot.
What a
Nathan
bowl.
Bush.
How sport are we? Front row. Yeah, he's been bowling excellent tonight, Bushy. He's a very, very talented player, Bushy, actually. He was skipping in the stateside a few years ago, and I think he really burst into the, you know, household nameness from, he had a UBC series where he got the, I think he got the Golden Touch Award. He was just absolutely amazing. Kurt probably just need a little bit more weight on that one, but it does give him another one in the head, and it does set it up quite well for Melbourne. Bushy probably just needs, sorry, Case probably just needs to get one on that other side of the head. Because I can see if the next bowl, there's a great opportunity there for Kurt just to sort of touch that jack around the corner and sort of really shut down the head and make it hard for Deer Park. But continuing with my trend of not calling the right shot. He's playing the opposite hand and trying to play it first. So great bowl there for Case. He sort of basically played the shot that Melbourne was, you know, set up to play, and gone with it and held the shot. If he hadn't got that first and Kurt had played it, like, Deer Park would be about 4 or 5 down at the moment. So that's why sometimes it's good to sort of actually play your opposition shot first, even if there is a bit of danger, because your bowl's going to end up in the area and at least cut back the count, like he's just demonstrated.
Yeah, kind of still pretty confident here. Still a good shot on to search up there and get the last bowl out. Can use that red ones of Simon Leons to get back to it.
Ryan Tate's just played a bomb over there. Turn over the head. So I think Spurry's playing with white bowls as well. So 3 out of 4 of the Melbourne skips preferring the white bowl tonight.
Should be easy enough for us to follow, but
You'd think.
just a few.
Yeah.
Case asking for this one to settle in.
Yeah, 2 absolute
It's a great shot. And
bombs
fell in.
there from Case. Played the trail with the first, and then just pretty much drew it with the second. Dead drew, but just off dead draw. Is think on what I'm trying to say. So I'm guessing Justine will be tuning in at home. So that's Kurt and Kane's mum. She spent many years being the Ultimate Bowls mum and taking them through juniors, running juniors. They come up from over the border or on the border, and she'd drive them down here so they could be exposed from a young age playing at such a high level. And it's paid dividends. Phelps being disappointed because he wanted to dead draw it, but that was always another result there for them that they had as an option to play that hand.
Well, he's absolutely furious, assuming he's still one down, and the boys have just signalled to them, Nathan, we're holding one.
We're holding one. Yeah. Sounds like Bouse. He just played a bomb over there. Getting a lot of love from the teammates.
Yeah, I think he...
I actually feel like Deer Park are being louder tonight than Melbourne. What's going on there?
Wow, all of a sudden 2 of Melbourne's go out the head, and despite still holding one...
Well, not only that, though, too. They've now only got one in the head. So
only got one in the head.
Phelps has got to find a way
Phelps
to get another
is pretty
one in
happy
here.
that they're holding shot, but...
Yeah. Find a way to get another one in without fattening it. And I do not envy Skips at all. I'll stick to leading 100%.
Yeah, we'll let these guys figure out how they're going to get another one in here.
Because Jay would be seeing that and being like, give me my next bowl.
Yeah, yep.
I am after that. What is it, maroon or pink of Simon's? Actually can't tell what colour they are from here. I'll watch next time one goes past. Justine's here. I thought she was watching at home. She must be here somewhere. But clearly inside watching on the stream instead of sitting out here waiting for the rain like us.
Probably a good move.
Yeah.
Pretty
Where
smart.
I'd be
Pretty smart.
if I wasn't on the commentary tonight.
All right, Nathan. What's he going to come up with here? Holding one. Really needs another one in the head.
All right, so he's on the forehand. So he's probably just going to try and hit that little gap there and sort of try and draw another one in. It's like they're calling him to play a cover bowl, actually.
Yeah, just in case.
The jack spits out.
Jay turns his over and the jack moves out that side. All right, well.
Interesting. Could be a big bowl in the context of the game. He gets this one out. They're going to be holding 3 or 4. Could be a 4-shot turnaround.
Might be big in terms of the overall as well. BYE-NORRIS.
I think he's a bit tight.
Well, he just needs to get this bowl over the red, and he's got it all the way. What a shot by J-Boy. Makes 4.
Geez, I thought that was going to turn a bit more than that. His bowls have been turning a lot.
Just got
What
the
a bowl.
right contact on the front bowl, and we'll get a good replay of it. Simon Leons goes out the head.
What a great shot.
Pretty happy about it as well. Why wouldn't you be?
I thought the boys would have given him a bit more, to be honest. I was internally giving him a bit more from the sideline. It was a huge bowl. Like we were just saying in the context of the game, it's a big 4-shot turnaround. We got someone tuning in from New Zealand. Must be quite late there. Probably about 11 o'clock maybe. They're about 2 hours in front. Bit of a late night. Great weight there from Chris. He sort of hasn't quite found his weight and line. Can be quite tricky on the Melbourne green here to find your line. And I think as well too, I think he's sort of the only one playing with arrows. You sort of see someone else playing with like an XG or something like that. You can sort of see their line. If they play it well, then you follow it down. So I guess he sort of doesn't maybe have someone else as well too to be watching their line go down to be able to follow. He's played this one pretty well again, I reckon. Yeah, good end from Greenie. It's been a bit of a run of ends for Melbourne, hasn't there? Prior to this one, I think. What does the scorecard say?
The only run sort of ends for Melbourne was on that Ben Fernwood rink, but you've probably heard in the background shouts of Matty Bouse the last 3 or 4 ends, and they've wrestled that one back to nearly be level now. So
they're right back in it.
Sort of the 2 rinks closest to us is where it's been won at the moment for Deer Park.
And the Spurry one, he got it to 5. He was within a couple, but Tainton sort of got him back again and jumped back out. We've got someone tuning in from Western Australia, so maybe just knocking off work and having a cold one and tuning into the bowls. So a bit of a change of length has sort of caught the Melbourne guys off guard. A couple of short ones there.
So, question for you. You touched on Melbourne, and they've been out here very late last night, putting in the yards and practicing.
Yep.
How about insider's view from a Deer Park perspective? They've been unbelievable for, 2.5 seasons now? What have they done? What have they done to get to that level in terms of practicing on the green and what they're doing off the green as well?
Well, I think quite a few of their players aren't based in Melbourne, so it does make it hard for them to be able to put in the hours on the green like Melbourne do. And one thing as well too, with all those hours on the green, Melbourne does build a very big camaraderie. They're a very tight-knit bunch here. But I think with the Deer Park, I think they've just got the right mix of guys and they all just sort of vibe very well. I always joke, okay, so Chris Ball spends a lot of time rolling up, and so does James, but at different times of the day. And everyone listening at home can verify this for me, everyone always thinks they're the same person. I don't know how many times I've been out with James and he gets called Bally or, hey Chris, how you going?
Hi Chris.
And I always joke that everyone must be like, oh my God, this guy practices for hours.
All hours of the day as well.
All hours of the day. But it's actually 2 people. So, but yeah, no, I think they've just got like a really, really good mix of guys that they've sort of put together, that Case has sort of recruited there. I think they've got the sort of 3 fly-ins as well too. Obviously, sort of, they're really only there on the weekends, but they've gone with like with solid relationships. So you've got Sheriff who plays with Nugget up in Queensland. They've been at Broadbeach together for many years. And then Sheriff's got a good relationship with Bousey. They play in the UBC team, the Exodus. They've had a lot of success. So I think having 3 that have a good relationship coming in makes it a lot easier than having, 3 different fly-ins from different areas. And the guys, they love being around the club. They get on the barbie on a Saturday. I was about to mention that, yeah. Yeah, they hang out with the members after the games and, have a few drinks with them and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I think for them it's not so much about the time spent on the green training together, but just sort of the good balance of personalities and the sort of culture they've built there. So they're definitely 2 clubs that have approached things very differently, but also had the same amount of success. So it's a great end's been unfolding here while I've just been talking away. No, it's good insight. Curtis Anley's played 2 bombs. 2 crackers for not holding. What is 1 down, but great head for Phelpsy to get on the mat to play to, though. Yeah, surrounded that Chris Green bowl. That's why lead's most important. Lead bowl still there, holding the shot.
I've had a few messages from people saying they agree with Sarah. They're on board with you there.
Thank you for those at home.
Those have all come from Leeds as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the most important position. You know, it's all about the jack roll. It's all about setting up the head as well for everybody else. Where the lead leaves their bowls sets up what
Sets
gets
the tone
played
for the
by.
end, yeah,
Yep,
yep.
that's it. What the opposition play, what you play, how you set the head. So it looks like the Fern Rink's picked up a couple actually. They've taken out 2 and I reckon they're going for a third. I think.
What on earth just happened there?
I think Jay's got a smile on his face because that's all you can do right now. Phelpsy doesn't love it. His body language is always pretty telling. Alright, I'll be interested to see what got picked up on that third ring because it looked like it might have been about 3.
I'm still trying to contemplate what on earth Jay just played and what's actually happened. Yeah, you're probably not wrong, which the lineup probably helps the Deer Park
Yeah.
being quite good.
Yeah.
Probably helps.
Yeah.
All right, so the jack is...
I actually can't see where the jack is. I think it's sort of sitting on Kurt's maybe, but I'm not entirely sure. I kind of wasn't expecting that to happen, so I wasn't paying as much attention. I was actually watching over on Ben's rink, or Cactus's rink, to see what the outcome was of that.
The jack is sort of rattled around in between those 2 green ones there of Curtis's. I've got no idea who actually have shot. We didn't really get much of an indication from the players. Hopefully,
Maybe we'll be
I
able
was
to
going
see
to say, hopefully Phelpsy might open it up, but
Well, looking at the
might find out.
weights, do you reckon he's trying to just take that bowl out of Chris's maybe?
I think so. He can get a
Hit that little gap.
walk off that blue Deer Park bowl.
I mean, that'd be probably worth 3. Make it 3. Maybe 4 if he hangs around.
Definitely the right shot, just underplated in terms of line.
Alright, let's see.
Even from the side angle, you can't see where the jack is, but it's in between those 2.
With that in mind,
Curtis
it'll
Hanley
be
bowls.
interesting to see if Jay does play it a little bit aggressively here. Try and open it up. Alright. Looks like he's just trying to play a back roll. I'm guessing.
Well,
Maybe that's what he was playing with the last one and he missed his line, or because I think he hit a
yeah,
short bowl up.
I
didn't
don't
he?
know. I don't know if it can, but if for some reason the jack gets all the way out to the side here, and that's what Nate's just asking. If it gets out there, how many down are they?
He's thinking about it.
Yeah.
I guess there's probably a little bit of danger if the jack goes back, because I don't think Melbourne's got anything past. That's in a good position. I
Well,
think.
Nathan Murray, I'm going to say this is a fair bit closer here, isn't it, Sarah?
Yeah, I think he's
Off the front one.
Whoa.
Oh, any less of that bowl and it nearly runs back up onto the jack, but Chris Green has grabbed the mat, so he's confident.
Yeah, he is. He is. Okay, there it is. It's sort of sitting between those 2, isn't it? So we see the umpire. Or are they going to give it a go?
Okay, signalling they might be one down, so we'll get some confirmation. Of course, all the action brought to you tonight brought to you by Moama Bowls Club. Shout out to Kevin. Sure he'll be watching.
Sure he is. And Stewie.
And Stu, I'm sorry, Stewie, I'm sorry. And the Dandenong Club as well, who, I mind you, Sarah, are flying along very nicely in Prem Reserve, undefeated after 5 rounds.
Yeah, I think they've
On top of
recruited
the table there.
recruited quite well in the off-season as well too, haven't they?
Yeah, they've had a
Ex-Melbourne player, ex-Clayton player now, Alan Beach.
Beachy.
Yes, he's gone to Dandenong, hasn't he?
He has, and his rink's been going along superbly as well.
He's a very good player, Beachy. He was here at the same time that I was here. So is that number 1 on the skipper's table, is it?
Number 1.
Number 1. All right, shout out to Beach.
All right, so Melbourne held on to the shot there. They score for just the third end in this match.
So the boys having another mat chat again, which I like.
Good chat, yep.
Just having a talk about it, saying to the front end. Well, look, the front end's been going amazing, actually. Just, yeah, just the Deer Park boys are just turning over their heads. They've been setting them up well. Well, like this. This is the Nelson ball tactic.
And as you can see for now, Sarah, off that shot there, it's still dry. No rain as of yet, so...
So far, so
fingers
good.
Crossed. Fingers crossed.
What have we got? 21 more ends. Oh, heard a cheer of snorkel over there.
Oh, who's that?
That's actually the first one I've heard all night, to be honest. So, what time is it?
I wasn't going to say same, but it was.
All right.
James playing third over with Matty Bouse over there, a couple rings across.
Yeah, he's got great things to say about Bousey, which is always nice to hear. Great bowler, great temperament. And David agreeing that you should have rink chats. I call them mat chats myself. But yeah, it's always good just to have a, especially when the score line's like this. And I don't think the Melbourne side are really doing, like they're playing badly. Like they're actually playing really good. They've got really well set up heads and stuff like that. But the momentum definitely at the moment is with the Deer Park side. Well, two great opening bowls there from Chris. So I bet you Barbara Green's stoked to see that. Number one stream queen, she is. And I say that as a fierce contender for the title, but she absolutely loves it. And she's from Tarrant Point, which is where Chris used to play. It's a bit unfortunate there for RJ. He was probably actually looking just to get under that bowl, sit the shot, trail the jack, and he just sort of drifted a bit wide and didn't quite get under and caught that short bowl of Simon. So it probably makes it just a little bit harder now for Melbourne. I'm wondering if they will attack early just to sort of open up the head a little bit for them. Might just take a moment to have a look at the radar and see how it's looking.
Bit of aggression here early in the end.
That's what I sort of thought. I think
asking
they
RJ to open this up.
I think they need to open up the head here because it's quite shut down at the moment for Melbourne. Just played it a little bit too wide, but again,
Well, it gets those ones out of the line. It
it.
gives them a look at drawing the shot now. So
That's it, and that's the hand they've been favouring on the draw.
I was going to provide a bit of a score update from around the grounds tonight with our Altona Moonee Valley clash, but everyone's phone is broken. The live scoring hasn't worked for the first time this season, or it's been pouring down rain the last 45 minutes and they haven't played an end.
It does look like it is quite heavy that side of the city, but about to pass. So there is a big chunk that's about to probably hit us any minute now. If you go to the Bureau of Meteorology,
Maybe it might disappear.
the last frame is almost upon us, and I think it's about 6 minutes. Every 6 minutes they update it. So
Curtis just lacking a tiny bit of speed, not far away at all. Those bowls of Chris Green at still the shots for now.
yeah, and I think Bushy snuck one in there as well too. All right, I'll send out the message and I will find out if it is game off or everyone's phones are broken.
Oh, well, Case has moved the jack and
It's a pretty good bowl, actually.
stuck on Chris Green's bowl there. Probably brought a couple others into play. See if Nathan can give us an indication of how many it is. 2 and a bit.
Yeah, makes it a pretty tough head there for Kurt to play into. He doesn't have to correct that much from his last bowl. He wasn't that far off it. Oop, the rain's starting.
Hasn't played this too badly here. Sara needs contact with something though.
In a good spot, gives Nathan some options. I think that's their only one pass now, which is actually really Deer Park doesn't really have any pass either. It's kind of be one of those ends.
Jeez, hasn't played this too badly again.
Yeah.
Oh well, moves the jack to an even harder spot to get at now for Phelps.
Should have shut it down a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, sure does, and I think they all count still with Deer Park, so at least, I'm gonna say at least 4, Sara.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he's just sort of got to try and play something similar to Kurt's, reaching weight. If he can manage to contact the bowl onto the jack, it should spit the jack back to Kurt's. But there is one back there from Bushies. I think it is.
Yeah,
So-
Kurt just saying they're close, but they could be all in, so...
All right, the rain's really starting to come down, but I don't think it's going to hang around that long. Looking at the radar, the patch is sort of thinning, so he's just a touch wide here. And
Oh, and turns all of those in and doesn't give himself a look at a lot.
he does not.
So it's 5 for Deer Park, J-Boy 1 to come, just...
Oh, I'm going to
Just asking for him to draw another one here.
Wait from Phelps for the next one. I'd play a cover. But I've been wrong every time so far, so...
Yeah, and where to cover though, there's sort of... sort of one down everywhere. Deer Park have the backers if the jack gets all the way through. Jay's going to look to add a 6th here. Oh, I was going to say didn't want to touch the jack, but he's flicked it sideways, so...
Is it? I think that actually is probably a little bit better for Phelpsy now because it's kind of moved over, so he's still sort of got like a bit more of a look at it. Don't know. Not calling weight anymore. I'm calling he's just going to try and get one in there and cut some out, to be honest. I think that's probably the best shot for them in this situation at the moment. It's only 15 in the overall. If they drop a number here, it could be bad, especially if they might have to come off for rain. Probably not mentally. If they, drop a number here, going in closer to 20 down, could be tough. All right,
here it is then. Nathan Murray, a number down.
Pretty good line. Oh, he's got it.
Oh, the boy's asking for it to be good. It's about as good as it could have been.
That's amazing.
Deer Park boys applauding that one as well. It's a huge save in the context of the game.
I wanted to yell out, but I'm like, I was going to put myself a bit.
Yeah, no, probably not. Probably not. Probably not going to move.
It's actually really funny. When I first sort of started playing bowls, I went out to Shepparton and I my accommodation fell through and ended up staying with all the boys. It's when James and I first started seeing each other.
Ooh.
And Phelpsy was there, and that's how I got to know him. And he was trying to teach me how to use the phrase result. And every time like anything happened, I'd yell out result. Anyway, so he made it through. I think he made it through to like the quarters or the semi-finals or something, and he was playing Leroy. I think it's the year maybe Leroy won the singles. And anyway, he was getting absolutely...
Sorry to cut you off for a sec, Sara.
that is-
J-Boy's nearly worked his way into the count with no room to spare at all. And they win the end.
I didn't realise Jay still had one to come, actually.
Looked in for a shot.
But yeah, he was playing Leroy and he was getting absolutely belted. And he drew a back hopper and I yelled out, result. And then he just shook his head at me and he's like, no, that's not how you use it. So anyway, I wanted to yell out result then. All right, well, a long way Anticipated rain is here, but so far so good for the Lightning. So I have got confirmation the game is off at Altona.
It's off.
Thank you, Sharon Callis. They've stopped until it settles down a bit.
Oh,
So
so breaking play, not completely off just yet.
no, sorry, that was bad
Yeah,
phrasing.
yeah. When you said it was off, we was like, oh.
break in play.
Craig McCarran, the inferior McCarran, tuning in tonight. Thanks for jumping on, Tub. Nelson Ball also, he's been down at Altona this evening. They've been off the green for a while there. It's been raining a fair bit, and as you can see, it's starting to come down fairly heavily here now at Melbourne Bowling Club as well.
Yeah. One and that's two. Brad trying to get me to do some technical stuff. He doesn't realise who he's talking to. If any of my work people are tuning in, they'll tell you I'm an IT nightmare. Isn't always user error, but is a lot. So Simon's back.
Yep.
Maybe he just likes the rain. But no, I joke. I say that, but he's only had 2 off ends. He's been absolutely phenomenal, rain or no rain. So the rain is pouring down, the players are getting soaked, and we're in here in the dry.
No problem at all for Nathan Bush. Just sits that one out with
Bushy
absolute
not
ease.
phased, not phased at all. He's like, bring on the rain.
Oh, we missed it.
Looks like there was a huge bowl played over there by Sheriff. The rink is up and about. A lot of noise.
Hats off, looks to the heavens. Thank you for coming.
He's got such a smooth delivery, Bushy. Great spot there. Played a bomb and got shot, and then plays a bomb and gets cover.
Bit of contact on his own, RJ. Not quite far enough, but gets him another one in the head. Oh, on cue. James Pearce.
Did I hear
Did you see that? Yeah, that was a huge shot.
Oh, was it?
Oh, he's made about 3 or 4, couple rinks over.
Nice. Things
As
I like
the
to
rain
hear.
comes.
Means it'll be a good car ride home.
Yeah, that's...
Hopefully a shorter one than it was to get here. But, yeah, these guys won't come off unless it's lakes for puddles.
Yeah,
and
especially near the
lightning.
Parkers. I think the Omar's crew's picked up at least maybe a 4 or 5 over there.
So a bit of momentum at the moment, sort of heading Deer Park's way, actually. And again, I just feel like Deer Park have been louder tonight than Melbourne. And Melbourne's thing's always been their loudness, getting up and about, getting behind each other. So maybe I can get the intel off Jimmy later. They're trying a new tactic if they're trying to quiet Deer Park out back, because that's what they normally do. I've got a question on the chat for you. Who will win Glenroy's singles? You in the final?
Sure am. Guess
Nice.
have one guess at who I'm playing.
I'm going to go Craig McCarran.
Oh, you guessed well. Who's your tip?
I'm going to back you.
Yes.
Because you're a Rodger.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Rinkside Rodger here tonight.
Sorry, Tub.
All the way. Yep, so sorry about that, Craig.
Yeah, yes. That's going to be mentioned tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Craig.
Yeah.
Hopefully the weather's better tomorrow too, actually.
I'm pretty surprised they're still out there, to be honest. It's coming down fairly heavily, but
It is, but I'm actually not.
all the rinks are still in play.
Yeah, no, these boys, Melbourne especially, I know, takes a lot to get them in, and Deer Park just as dedicated. See if I can find out if Altona are back on. Looks like the rain might have sort of started to pass that way. If they stay off for the weather, I might be able to drop in and see the end of their game on the way home.
See Nathan Murray walking back to the mat, absolutely soaked. Rain's coming in sideways into his eyes.
It's kind of settled down a little bit from what it was projected to be, so I reckon this will be passed in about half an hour. All right, I think why the players off at Altona might be also too because it's quite wet. I think they must have some puddling there, and I guess at the end of the day too, you sort of want to protect your green. So probably a good idea to get play off. Plus, I'm not biased or anything, but the greens at Altona are fantastic. You'll get to find out at the second half of the season. They'll be flying by that time of the year.
Yeah, we were down in Altona a couple of weeks ago.
It's running
Played
really
host
nice.
MCC and was running beautifully there as
Yeah.
Nathan Murray takes some shelter in form of the commentary box.
He's come to join us. I've got an umbrella somewhere you can have. At the end there, Phelps.
Jay Boy's, I was going to say he's going to stick the jack around the corner. He's got a piece of the bowl and a piece of the jack, and that's just about stayed the same was. So Melbourne hold on to shot. Helps you still with one to come.
I don't know if you viewers at home can see in the background, there's two ladies sitting behind this rink sharing an umbrella. The rain is not phasing them at all.
Not missing any of the action out here. Well, that's what we want to see. Commitment from the players, commitment from the spectators,
Huge
commitment from the
commitments.
commentators.
I think they deserve an award. Melbourne's most dedicated fans. I think that needs to happen.
So, would that weight be one roll's enough or two rolls?
All right. Hot tip for anyone watching at home, that the best way to get your bowl dry enough to be able to deliver when the weather's like this is paper hand towels from the toilets. Your bowl's cloth doesn't do anything, but you go and get those paper towels.
I told Phelpsy when he was just here sitting right next to you that was the best way to go about it.
I should have actually. Sorry, Phelps. Hasn't phased him. Is he going to count?
Never mind the paper hand towel. He might have just drawn a shot either way.
Again, he doesn't listen to me. Is that two? Oh, is that Jay's bowl on there? No. That's RJ's, isn't it?
Well, they've
Taken one
just
out.
removed that last one there.
I guess we'll know on the live score in a second.
Yeah, missed the indication there for the boys.
I think they're just trying to keep the rain out of their eyes.
Two.
Got confirmation it's two. All right, looks like we've got a minimum length one here, which will be interesting. With the change in conditions, with how much more moisture is on the green, let's see how the players go adapting to this. Yeah, that hand still got down. I actually thought maybe with the bit more moisture in the green that might be a little bit too wide, but that took very good grass. Not really seeing any puddling yet either for how much rain we've had, so I think the drainage is pretty good on this green. Giving it a shout. Shout out to Cutter, who does the greens here. Plays at MCC, but he's done the greens here for many years. And great correction here from Simon.
There you go with this short length. This is where we want. This is where every inch will get played from, in my opinion, Sarah. Right where we can see it right in front of the...
They thought of us this end, didn't they?
Coming through both.
Let's give them Melbourne the map more often so they can put the head right in front of us. Yeah, I think these guys are pretty keen to get a conclusion to this game. So for those at home who would otherwise be definitely in the shelter by now, this is what dedication looks like, isn't it? Yeah, good ball there from Bushy. Gave it a chance. It's ended up in a very good spot. Only needs a small correction to play through and sit that bowl, trail that jack. That's the first time in a while that Bushy's missed, actually. He's been playing very well in the second position. Sounds like Nuggets just played a bomb over there. Getting a lot of shout outs from the Deer Park crew. Yeah, great ball here from Kurt. Just covering up those two bowls from Bushy. Jack moves over there. There are a couple down, so very good spot. Two here for Melbourne, but a lot of room for a second. And also Simon's bowl is sitting there waiting to be converted on. But tough conditions out there for the players. Cases like, what tough conditions? I'll just sit it through. He's bowled very well, actually, in the third position. He's turned over a lot of heads, drawn a lot of shots. He's bowling absolutely excellent.
Oh, Jack nearly ended up over with us there, Sarah. Big hit from Jake Corinne, a couple of rinks over. Next door, sorry. It's come all the way back up the green. And
yeah, huge hit. So that was his reply to Nuggets' bomb over there. Kill it. So anyone who put a stopwatch on it at home, I said this would last about half an hour, so tell me if I'm right. We're very fortunate. We've been well looked after. We are undercover. I like to think it's because they're protecting the talent, but I think it's probably actually that they're protecting the equipment. But for all those at home who are tuning in, shout out to Moama and Dandenong for bringing us this stream tonight, so you don't have to sit out and brave the elements. You've got us here to do that, and brought to you by our partners. Oh, great ball there from Phelps. Just a little bit of pace coming off the green. I think that otherwise would have been like spot on. Makes Jay change his hands. The players have sort of been favouring that other hand. But fair amount of room there for Jay, so he's drawn another. Small correction to come from Phelps. This looks pretty good. He's going to sit the ball. cut one
Okay,
out.
good shot.
Though a lot of room there for Jay to draw another.
Good boy. Hey, come on, run. Good, mate. Come on, Jay, boy.
GJ's playing an absolute cracker here. Past the front is enough to count.
Well, that's it. When you're in conditions like this, it's just beating bowls. You don't need to be nailing jacks, do you?
Well, I'll throw
They're
the
looking
tape
at
on it.
Who's got the size bigger bowls? Tip them to win the measure. So the players are looking absolutely drenched. I'm sitting here watching Kurt, and you can see the water just like dripping off his hat.
I'm alongside Anthony Witkowski, and the fact that I cannot believe they're still out there playing either, to be honest.
Yeah, they're just too. I don't know. I just sort of two very dedicated sides. I didn't see either coming off.
Either just enthralled in the contest, or
I think there's a lot of competition between these two. I think they're like
yeah, does
the
come
modern
across.
day sporting rivals. You know, you hear about State of Origin, Queensland, New South Wales, fierce rivalry. Well, it's Deer Park, Melbourne in the Premier League. I'm not sure if it's a entirely accurate
Like for
comparison, but as a Queenslander, that's the only rivalry I know to compare to. So it's pretty quiet overall, I think. I think everyone's just sort of just trying to get on with it now. Get the bowls down, try and get the bowl as dry as they can for their teammates.
Yeah, well, another 3 there to Ben Fern. Just bringing the margin back to 10 overall for now. Still that end of Deer Park to go on as well.
The game has tightened up a bit, actually. I think it was out to about 15 before, wasn't it? So it still continues to be this BYE-NORRIS Rink that's sort of really doing the damage. And it's probably sort of, you see those score blowouts sometimes and you're like, oh, they mustn't have played well. But you wouldn't say that about Melbourne at all. Like, they've bowled fantastic. Like, Simon's been absolutely dominating his leads. RJ's just always been in the area. Kurt's just been putting them in there. Been up and about. Trying to open the head up for Phelps. Phelps has been awesome. But the Deer Park boys, they've just got an answer for everything at the moment. I'm with Anthony. I'm a fair weather bowler.
I think we all are. Bit of a momentum shift in the Rink next door as well. Brett Spur's crew picking up the last few ends there to
They've really
bridge the gap on that Rink back to 5, and you would have heard a few calls of come on D's, keep working hard. Still in this contest and still plenty of ends to play.
I think you can just really see. I think this just really exemplifies the change in conditions here. So they've changed the length, and when they've done that previously, the players have corrected very well. And Bushy's just been bowling amazing. And you know, this end he's, you know, not nailed it. And I think that just is with the slowing down of the pace with all the water on it. So they're doing it tough out there, the players, but they're persevering. I guess because there was a delay in the start to the game as well too, they probably sort of don't want to come off if they don't have to.
And
they just want to get it played.
as Shirley just mentioned, the green is holding up pretty well given the amount of rain we've had the last 15 or 20 minutes or so. So
Yeah, well, it's not pooling anywhere yet, is it?
no, nowhere at all. So the game will continue, and Casey just sliding on through.
I think they needed that one though. They didn't. Oh no, wait. There's Chris's bowl pass. I was going to say I didn't think they had anything pass, so gives Jay options if he wants them. But
Big shot from Brycey on the far right there, getting up and about.
yeah, Bryce is always a very up and about player, and he lifts his rink with his up and aboutness. One coming here from Kurt. I think he's got great line. And he's just answered Case's back ball there with a back ball of his own, which I think Melbourne needed. Oh, it's getting heavier. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I'm really sitting in it.
It just went up a notch, the rain here, so...
Okay, so contact on the front one. Not enough. Simon Leon's bowl will remain shot for now. .52, the 84 ends played. Keep in mind, the minimum of 60 ends needs to be played for a result to stand. Oh, and Snorkel playing another big one.
It is
Cue,
really...
that's poured down, and I think a few of the boys have just realised we might just go off.
Oop, it's coming in sideways. But the equipment's still protected, so that's important. So the Sheriff Rink has gone off. As has the Fern Rink.
Gone inside. The Fern Rink has about just their skips bowls to play, so...
Oh, they're going to play theirs, I think. Yeah.
There's a couple to come, so they're going to play those.
Try and get the end finished and then head in. Oh, sorry, what happened there? That was from Jay.
Yeah, Jay got up over the wide one and...
Punched one up.
Yeah, the Jacks ended up getting out sideways. Still one to Melbourne for now. See if Phelps can draw in down there or not.
Actually, now it's really just gotten that bit heavier too. You can see over in Sheriff's Rink where they've got the bowls there. It's starting to pull there now. So I suspect after the skips have played their bowls across these three, we'll see them come off. Have a bit of a rain delay for a minute. But as we've seen, it doesn't need to drop off too much.
Oh, Spurry sliced a Jack, and has it gone out of bounds or not? Don't know. What's a good result? Jackie Rins held up 2 fingers to a Jack that's just stayed in play. Ryan Tate with one to come on the ring next door. How are they still playing? What's going on?
These boys are absolutely dedicated.
All right, J-Boy. One
Right.
down, he's gone searching for the Jack
So
and
there's
missing.
quite
Oh
a
no!
bit-
Oh no! I almost gave it away and nearly result of the century.
Yeah. Jeepers. All right, I think Spurry might... Oh, no, there's 2 more to come. So on the Spurry Rink, they're holding 2. There's probably a few feet there for Ryan to draw, but just with that pace coming off the green of how wet it is now, he did drop it short.
Yeah, it's
So Spurry's got a chance now to add a 3rd, and then Tainton will have last bowl. So Phelpsy here with a free hit. Oh, playing inside out. Oh,
Yeah, I think we're looking to try and get that blue ball out
Blue
of the head
ball
and
out.
just underneath. So one and
Chris Green just walking past, wringing
Just
out
the
his
one.
shirt. He'll be like, why did I leave New South Wales? Barbara Green, fill us in.
how did
Do
how
you
did
play
get
in
here?
these conditions? Oh, we've got someone fighting with an umbrella in the back, so it looks like there's a bit of breeze about.
All right, so all the players are going to head inside. I didn't quite catch if that was 1 or 2 there to
I think it was just
Melbourne.
one.
I think it will put it down as just 1.
Yeah, I think that's a safe estimate.
So there'll be a break in play with the rain. We'll have another quick look at the radar. It does seem to be passing through, so
It has eased off from the height of its intensity.
yeah, I'd say give it 5 or 10 minutes and the rain will disappear. So
I'm going to watch this back tomorrow and time it and see if I was right for half
Alright.
hour. So
we'll stick with you. We'll get all the scores up to date, and we'll give you an overall score, and then
Yeah, I think this will be
hopefully
going in
the rain
about
should
6
be
minutes.
eased off. Yeah. So on the stream, Rink, it's BYE-NORRIS' crew travelling along really nicely. They lead 16-7 after 12 ends. Ryan Tatum, their Rink at one stage had a 10-shot lead, and Brett Spurs full combination of battled back, picking up the last couple ends. They trail 10-15. I think there's an end to go on there, though, with that jack that came out the side. We'll find out what it was and pop it on the scoreboard when we get it.
I think they might have 2 or 3 to go on there. So
And they have
maybe they've updated it on the live score, actually. If you want to know at home for sure, just jump onto Bowls Link and see the live score.
You'll be able to see all the live scores there. We'll take a quick break. We'll keep the cameras rolling, and hopefully this break in play won't be too much longer, and we'll be able to get back to the rest of the action here at the Melbourne Bowls Club for Melbourne and Deer Park.
Go make a cup of tea. Don't go too far. We'll be right back.
Okay, hello folks. So the scenario is, I've started a stopwatch now. We have 1 hour to recommence the game. No, there's no lightning, it's rain. So the situation is that the rain, the call was the sideman was called. So I went and informed everybody beside captains, and obviously the boys agreed it's done. Yes, I reckon it's going to be about 20 minutes to half an hour, and then we should be able to get out. We might have to wait slightly for some of the water to come down, but that's the official stopwatch going. We need to get back out before 60 minutes. If it goes over 60 minutes, it's then officially game abandoned. I don't think it's going to come down.
I think, sorry, the winter rain's coming in. I think, thank you, Bard. You look after me. You're all right, you're making me more wet.
No, actually don't, because I don't want to do anything to upset the stopwatch. But thank you for the offer.
All right, welcome back everyone who's stuck around. Play is about to resume. So the Melbourne side had a quick huddle before play resumed. Deer Park guys were just keen as mustard to get back into it. So I think there's a couple of scores to still go on. So I'm pretty sure that the Tainton Rink, when I walked past, it looked like maybe Melbourne had 3. So I think that's still to go on. Melbourne had just 1 on this rink on a long end going into the break. So I had a feeling tactically they would probably try and do another long end. I think the Deer Park guys are just converting too well on that shorter to 3/4 length. So I do think that they've done the right thing here by going a more stretched out length. So kicking off play again is Simon Leon, who's been bowling absolutely fantastic. So let's see if the break changed anything. And I would say no, it did not. All right, valuable ball there from Chris, starting off behind. I think the last end that they played, that was long. They didn't end up with anything behind the head for a few bowls. So he's making sure that he's reaching with this change in length, because generally it's always easier to correct back than it is to correct up, if that makes sense. So at the moment, Sam is off doing his social duties, maybe getting a cup of tea or coffee to try and warm up a little. And it's just Brad and I left here to hold the fort while he's off living the bowls chat life. Oh no, here he comes. Alright, so a bit unlucky there by Chris. He caught the edge of Simon's bowl and did make it look a little bit better, but it was shot anyway. And it probably actually puts it in a better position, closer framed up to the jack for them, the Deer Park side, to be able to sort of like play a bit more positive on the draw and sit it through. So shot Bushy plays very well, and he's been bowling excellent tonight, so... Yeah, great first bowl there from Bushy. They've got a close bowl there now, so he's definitely got the option to just make his correction with the next one and sit that bowl through. All right. So for those who hung around, we've got Sam about to jump back and join me in the commentary.
Yeah, sorry about that. We had a half an hour rain delay and Sam decided to duck off 2 minutes before we started. So anyway, we're back.
I told everyone that you were off living the high life, chatting to everyone, being social, getting hot cups of tea and coffee.
I avoided as many people as possible on the way through the clubhouse.
Still a lot of people around, isn't there?
It's absolutely pumping inside.
It is. The ping pong table is going nuts. Who knew that there were so many quality ping pong players about?
So before we left for that rain delay, there was still a few ends we hadn't caught the score on. The Rink next door, Ryan Tainton, actually picked up a 2. So as you can see now, leading 17-10 after 14 against Brett Spur. And the other score we didn't pick up was Matty Bouse on the last end, picking up a 4.
Wow,
to send his crew back in front on that Rink, 18-16. And where we thought the margin was about 10, it's sort of, as you can see, pushed out now to 15. So once again, work for Melbourne to do. It's Curtis Hanley just drifts under.
Well,
Superb weight.
They bounced right back after the last rain, like the last time it rained. So I think that I expect them to put a big charge on the board, getting a few ends. They're holding a couple with this one. think their tactic of going a longer end is working. I was just saying that before the break they did really well on the longer end. That I think it was Deer Park that rolled, and they've elected to stick with that back out here, and it's worked for them really well. They're holding a few. The Deer Park boys haven't quite got the extra pace yet. Casey, who's been absolutely deadly with his 2 bowls, just missed on that one, which is, I'd actually probably say that he's the only bad bowl he's put down all night, and he had fantastic weight. Just missed the line a little bit on that tighter hand. But he has been absolutely exceptional tonight. Ooh, sounds like a big bowl over there from Bryce.
I think it was Duty, wasn't it?
Oh, was it Duty, was it?
You thought it was Roo. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, Roo.
Duty.
They call Bryce Roo,
Both.
don't they? Or both of them?
Yeah, but I reckon it was cause of Duty given the
Dude. Oh, he's getting high fives.
double
down
cobra
there.
halfway down the green and now the high fives from down the other end.
Yep, looks like it. I think Bryce, in true Bryce fashion, was getting amongst it and getting up and about because, yeah, he is definitely one in the side who can really lift the side and get him up and about. Fauci's put on a fair reply over there. I don't think he's quite got shot, but looks like he's drawn second. So they're playing bombs, but Deer Park are replying, so... See what Jay can do here. He's probably the first time he's hopped on the mat. Oh, great ball.
Jay's asked it to be good, and I think it has. It's hung on for shot.
Got the split. I was about to say, it's the first time in a while he's sort of got in the mat in a little bit of trouble. Like, the boys have just been so fantastic. And look what he does. So I think it's just been sort of like how the game's gone. Like, the Melbourne guys have been putting good ends together. They've been playing really, really well. And yeah, just the Deer Park boys have got an answer for everything. So the players on the break, they all went in and wrung their shirts out. tried to get some of the water off. I actually think the green has drained better than the players' clothing, to be honest.
Yeah, the green is held up in unbelievable nick. I mean,
You wouldn't even know.
there was a little bit of water towards the edges of a few of the ditches on the far rinks 2 and 3. But that's
And that sort of
dried up now. Yep.
tends to happen on your ditch ones anyway, really, doesn't it?
Phelps
played
needs
this
to
pretty
get
well.
all the way down to the jack. Needs all of it. And gets all of it. Oh, big
Fair
shot,
jack.
Nathan Murray. All the jack.
What a ball. They're not, oh, he's getting a bit.
He's getting a bit from next door.
Bit from next door. His Rink are pretty subdued down there. Maybe they're just waiting for them to reach him before they start high-fiving him. All right, so let's see what Jay's got here. I mean, it's sort of right on it, right on the edge of the ditch.
Have plenty of fun trying to get to that.
Yeah, I think he probably sort of only really is maybe sort of draw it off, or he could sort of try and play a little bit of a riving weight and clip it off sideways. They do have the next couple, I think, Deer Park.
Alrighty, lining up, looking to get something up the front through the bowl. What's he looking for here? No way, he's gone for the outside one. Was it an unbelievable shot choice?
Well, I guess...
Far away, but there you go. So big shot by Nathan Murray. They pick up consecutive ends for the first time in this game here on the stream rink to Melbourne. Back to 8-16.
So yeah, this tactic of going, like they did try minimum, mat up and short. Melbourne replied by going ditch to ditch. Melbourne went, oh yes, we like this, and they've stuck with it. So
that is after 14. I just didn't hit there, Sarah. So
that's
8-16 after 14. So
easily done with the rain delays. And again, too, the importance of leading. They're doing well on this long end, and Simon's absolutely nailed the jack roll. And by the looks of things, and nailed his bowl. Just a bit through. That's pretty good on a pretty much maximum length end.
yeah, whenever he's missed, his bowls have still remained in the scoring zone. So more often past the jack than not.
Good reply here from Chris.
There you go, it's right in the scoring zone now because
Yes.
just about on it. So same bowl here. Looking for Simon.
It's always kind of funny too because you put down your first one and then you make your correction and then something like that happens and you're like, oh, hang on, I've
in
got to
his
go
head
back
whether
to
he's already correcting for his next bowl. And he's getting right after this for good reason as well.
Played it very well.
Oh, he played the same bowl. There you go. That's what we're talking about.
Let's see. I think though one thing that has been a little bit interesting though, actually, did Simon change hands there? I was just going to say, are the leads playing opposite sides? Usually the leads sort of both tend to stick to the same one.
RJ not far from turning the jack all the way past here. Nearly did. Good shot.
Great bowl. He's bowled very well, RJ. Took him a couple of ends just to sort of get this longer length, but he's just sort of gone back to doing what he's been doing, just setting up the head well for Melbourne, being up and about.
Bushy's nearly sunk the jack here.
Bushy's.
Oh, got a piece of it over Chris Greens to make two.
Bushy has been bowling excellent. He's bowled really, really well. If he'd got that jack fat, he probably would have just gone all the way in the ditch with it. Would have been exceptional, but he got also the next best result. Winnie's just played 2 absolute bombs. 2 rinks over.
How's RJ going here, Sarah?
Oh, has he
wow.
what?
Sat the bowl out and a toucher as well. And pretty happy with it. Why wouldn't you be? What a shot.
A lot of chalk there. Great bowl there from RJ. He's been playing that second roll really, really well. I guess though too with Bushy's touch in the ditch just behind there, any contact onto this bowl will turn onto the jack and might kick back into the ditch to his. So definitely a positive bowl here from Bushy. Alright, so Felty just looking for Kurt here to put one around the back. So if they do play that weight again, turn that bowl onto the jack, which pops it into the ditch where Bushy's touch is waiting. They've at least got a back bowl there to either end up shot or reduce the counts. Got some shouts over there for Disco, who's also a voice of BVTV. I don't think we'll be hearing as much of Chris this season because Deer Park do have a lot of Friday night games. But I do believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think him and James are going to be doing a game in the next couple of weeks. Good ball there from Case. He had great weight, and he sort of just opened it up a little bit more to see the jack. It's ended up in a good spot too, actually. There is a chance that jack might spring over to Case's bowl now.
Yeah, viewers expected to triple, I'm hearing, when the boys are on commentary in a few weeks' time, I think.
I think so. Well, that's because I'll be at home with it on the TV and then also on my phone just sledging them in the comments. So there's 2 views.
2 views.
Yep. I'm not sure which game that one is actually, but should be Ripper. I think it might be a Yarraville game actually. Can't remember. But yes, there's one to wait out for at home. You'll get to hear Ditchside Disco back on BBT on a Friday night.
Oh, interesting lead ahead developing here, so...
Yeah, well, that Chris Green bowl is worth a lot.
It is, and any jack movement left of screen, it's just a area of all Melbourne bowls, and Casey hasn't quite done enough to get them another second. All right, what's more percentage here? Is there a way to move that jack, or is it easier to try and land that Chris Green bowl, Sarah?
I think try and move the jack, because how it's set up at the moment, I wouldn't even think that Jay wouldn't mind having a run at it and trying to get the jack or bowl, look for a kill, look for movement of the jack, because they've got that toucher in the ditch. Whereas if you sort of pop the jack out a little bit, it leaves a gap between the bowl and the jack. What do you think?
The boys initially were having a look to see if maybe I was going to sit underneath on the forehand, but I think they've set it on giving themselves a chance on the backhand. Interesting to see what way he shapes up. Do you tell Phelps in the break about your paper towel theory or not? Because he hasn't listened.
No, he hasn't. Actually, I was just kind of like walking on my way back over, and I saw all the Deer Park boys trying to like wring out their cloths, and I yelled out to them and I said, take my pro tip, use paper towels. It's the only thing that's going to get your bowl dry right now.
Pro tip. Lead pro tip.
Lead pro tip. So after I've put my 2 bowls down, I get my paper towels out when it's weather conditions like this, and I dry everybody else's with the paper towel. And it's the only thing that gets your bowl dry enough to be able to deliver. Your bowl's cloth will not. There's too much dirt, too much grippo on it, and it just will not get dry enough. So Phelpsy there probably just being in 2 minds about the shot and has underplayed it. So that does give Jay an option.
That's a loose one, and
that's what happens sometimes when you're sort of not as sure on the shot, or you're in 2 minds about what you want to play. I know myself definitely anyway. They usually end up short because I'm just not confident when I'm delivering it. So
more rain has started once again. J-Boy, how's he going here? Asking for this one to hurry.
I think he's just trying to actually just draw into that little group there.
Yeah, it's a tricky shot.
But
I'm not sure if that makes it any easier though for Nate as well.
Does not. I'd actually, if he's going to look to sit that bowl, I'd probably play, what's that one, the forehand.
Underneath on the forehand now, maybe.
Play
All right,
underneath.
let's see if we can get it.
Because the other thing is
Listen
too,
in.
if he is a fraction tight and he does hit their bowl and it touches onto the jack, then that's a good secondary outcome as well. But again, I have been wrong pretty much every time.
Yeah.
So
We're going to go searching.
shaping up for backhand.
I think we're going to go searching for the bowl here. Won't be short. Won't be short twice.
He's got a very smooth delivery, Nathan Murray.
Well, definitely here this time. Asking for this to hold on. Clear the front. Oh.
He almost pulled off a trick shot, didn't he?
Well, it just clipped the front bowl of J-Boys. It's turned it 1 roll. If he clears that, nearly makes, at least 3 or 4.
Could have been huge. I think that's probably a little bit their night. They've just been missing those ones. If he got that one, that's a huge turnaround for them. But think they'll still be happy to get away with the one here. 10 in it on the overall. Still a few ends left to play.
Oh, I thought you were saying like I'll stand this in the water, and I was like, oh yeah.
Hold on.
Jimmy doesn't have brakes.
Alright, so Jay wasn't far away there, nearly turned that ball all the way up for shot, but not to be, so another end for Melbourne here. 3 in a row, 3 singles.
Three singles with the longer length, so
Yeah, just chipping away nicely here.
and importance of the lead. Simon nailing that jack roll again. The rain has started to just come down a little bit heavier again, but looking at the radar, once this passes, that should be it for the night. So I think we will definitely see a conclusion of the match, but we're also past that 60 end mark anyway, aren't we? That it would be enough to constitute a game.
And I thought I heard shouts of Bousey, and they've picked up a 5 over on that Rink, Sarah. They jump out to a 23-17 lead on that Rink.
I think it's kind of been like every time they get within 10, Deer Park just pick up a few and...
They seem to just get a number somewhere. One of the 4 Rinks has picked up a number. Matty Bouse has now picked up 2 4s and a 5, and that's all come within the last 5 ends of the game. And that margin that initially it snuck back under 10 shots has just creeped out ever so slightly once again.
I've just been promoted. Camera operator.
Now, the one thing we haven't touched on all this evening is a bit of a big occasion at the old BV on Tuesday night out at City of Melbourne Bowls Club, Sarah. 4 new Hall of Fame inductees. Bobby Carlson, John Roberts, Carla Krasanik and Matthew Flapper.
Very well deserved, isn't it?
Congratulations to them all, and we thank them for their contribution to bowls in our wonderful state. As RJ on the high side there, bit of room to draw this one.
Yes, there is a bit more room this end. But yeah, look, I mean, I haven't been bowling as long, but for as long as I have been bowling, Carla and Matt have just been 2 absolute ambassadors for the game. So hugely well deserved. And it's just lovely that, Bowls Victoria do these sort of things and, give that recognition for those people who do put in a lot of time and a lot of their lives, to our sport, because, you're competing with, jobs and families and other commitments like that. And the fact that you do get people like that who just, this is what they dedicate their time to. It's just so great to have them recognised.
Curtis draws the shot, had a bit of room. It's done nicely.
So the rain's changed direction a little bit here. We are getting a little bit wet in the commentary box, so everybody at home, think of us right now. We're not getting as wet as the players, so we shouldn't complain too much, but we are getting wet. So that's us being dedicated. So we're just sort of trying to batten down the hatches and bring the technical stuff in a little bit, get the water off it.
She'll give you another shout out. Is two too many? Well, you've
Brad?
already had one this evening.
I don't think there
That's
can be
Brad
enough.
from SEN. Oh, there can never be enough
Never
shout
be
outs to
enough of
Brad from
Brad.
SEN.
Yeah.
Doing a splendid job as always.
Yep, so we
Bringing
talk
the
about our
stream to life.
sponsors, but as much as the sponsors, this also wouldn't happen with the technical capabilities.
Oh, that's enough. That's enough. Calm down.
Live streaming of bowls has come a long way from someone standing there with a mobile phone and a power pack. Let me tell you. And Bowls Victoria leading the way. The graphics that we have on the TVs here, I watch other streams and everybody's in the streams and they're like, why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? It's because we lead the way in at Bowls Victoria.
All right, so
So
2 to Curtis on this end so far.
yeah, 2 to Curtis, and maybe 3 to
I was going
Melbourne.
to say Simon Leons is probably third shot as well here, so
Yeah, I don't think Melbourne have anything past though. So if Jay were to get the jack, there'd probably be a few down. But I think when the margin's out like this, you know, do you try to play a cover bowl or do you try and actually, you know, just stack the head and try and pick up the shots? I think at this stage of the game, you're trying to stack the head and pick up the shots and just hope that he doesn't get it.
yeah, they're in a position where they need to.
I mean, he can still get around to the side there as long as he's a little bit past, and he's probably going to count. But that one just ran out a bit of steam.
All right, J-Bo, with work to do. Asking for this one to hold. Oh, I might have the gap here and drifting away from the head, so okay. Nathan Murray, can he
Can he add here?
add a fifth, I'm going to say? His last one
Yeah.
counts.
I mean, if you could hold that here, that would make this game very interesting for the last few ends.
Yeah, well, Aaron Sheriff's just picked up a few ends in a row over there, so Bryce Young's lead has
Just come back a
all
little
but
bit.
just about disappeared. There's another one to go on there, so need Nath to make this one count, and fingers crossed for Melbourne, they can hold on to them.
Back him in to do it. He's got good line. Seems to
Yeah, I
have
think
corrected his weight.
he's played this fairly well.
And he's
On
also
target now.
got it in a very good position that if Jay were to move the jack, there's a chance that
To work it. Yeah, Jay just asking, am I drawing this or
trying to kill
trying to, yep.
bear jack. Someone yelling for a kitty.
That was a great shot by Ryan Tate next door, and instead of getting the jack all the way through, he sliced it and they remain down. Melbourne pick up on that end. All right, here we go. Jay, 4 or 5 down here, looking to draw this one off. Boys are pretty keen.
Got
Oh,
that jack. We did talk about it.
what a shot. That is huge in the context of the overall as well. Curtis takes 2 out. We'll see what it is. They'll measure for the third.
Yeah, I think everything after that's too far, and that last one of Nathan's being their closest bowl. So, yeah, I mean, it was like I think Phelpsy still played the right bowl. At this point in the game, they do need numbers. So to get another one in the head and give themselves an opportunity to get back in it was probably the right thing. But that always was the risk. So Melbourne have got Deer Park have got the mat back, and it looks like they've still elected to go a bit of a long length. So thought they might just shorten it up a little bit to what they were playing earlier because they were absolutely dominating, but it's kind of that 3/4 to long. But Greenie's nailed it, so all good.
just confirming, so the only time limit we've got here is the game being completed within 5 hours of the start of the game, which I think, Sarah, we thought was around 7:30 in the end.
So
The start, so
12:30.
what have we got? We've got another 2 hours to get through the last, what is it, 19 ends on the big board, so we'll see a result, and at the moment it's looking likely a Deer Park win, with the margin now out to around 20 shots overall. As they look to keep their place on top of the Premier A ladder. And after their 5th win of the season.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Mooney just surprised them a little bit, you know. They're new in the competition, they're pretty loud and up and about side, whereas, you know, Deer Park are traditionally a very sort of quiet side on the green that just sort of go about it. So I'm wondering, I mean, I wasn't there that night, so I can't give you any intel on what happened.
Where were you? Well, that's poor commitment.
Oh, I just had a really big week at work.
Nah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's late night. I'm usually up at 5 to get to work.
It
so.
was, and that jump between what was Division 1 and Premier is
Well, I think Mooney
is tricky, but they've done very well. What are we, 5 rounds in? So we'll see if they can keep it rolling.
Well, they've recruited very well too. They have just the one fly-in, I think, don't they? Is it Jake Rink?
Sorry,
No.
Kay Nelson
Kay
is
Nelson.
coming down to play, and Michael Sims also flying over from Tasmania.
See, I forget that Sims is a fly-in because he used to play here at Melbourne because he lived in Melbourne for a while. Played here with his brother Lockie, who's also a fantastic bowler. So I do just forget that he is a fly-in. So, but huge asset to have. He's had a very good BPL, plays for Tasmania. It's a good pickup for him. So I think they've recruited well. They've got some good fly-ins, and they're just a very up and about team. So. So we don't have much happening with the camera movement at the moment because with my recent promotion to camera person I didn't do very well, and so it hasn't been assigned to me again. And we've got Brad off just maybe looking at some technical difficulties with one of the cameras where we're not getting a feed. So at the moment we've just got the one view. Sam's on it though. We may see a different view in a second.
Oh, tough to see. The line, Mark Casey's turn. Curtis is over the jack, but still there for now.
So I think this is going to be the last of the rain. The radar looks clear after this, so we'll definitely get through this one.
Crashing RJ's front one.
I bet there's going to be a few heaters on in the cars on the way home. I think a few of the players in the break before were actually like taking their shirts off and wringing them out. They were that drenched. So they're going to enjoy their Saturday tomorrow, putting their uniforms through the tumble dryer, I reckon.
RJ's up there, still only one down by the looks of it. Talking about drying out. Our camera behind the end here is going to have to do the same tomorrow. It's
Reached its
no longer with
limits.
us. I think it's reached its rain threshold, so
Yep.
You'll have to stick with us coming back in this direction just with a 45 for the last, what will be 2 ends going back that way that we've got to play.
I think the technical has done very well considering the amount of rain we've had.
Yeah, Curtis just saying there, weight wasn't too far away there from Nathan to get up and get the shot. So you can see, you saw the jack just sticking out to the side there. Curtis Hanley from Melbourne holding on to 1. The blue bowl of, I was going to say Deer Park, so I didn't catch if that was Nathan's or Case's. It's second at the moment. Jay a chance though to turn that jack around the corner or sit through the shot bowl. See coming to the screen now, he's just underneath the line. It gives them another one past.
Right, a lot of love for Spurry next door. I think he played a pretty good bowl. Ryan Tainton did get a little bit of a result. He put his hand up straight away and got in for the shot, and I think Spurry's just chipped it out. So, say Melbourne are holding 1 over there. But Ryan does have another bowl to come.
Alright, not sure, is it? Yep, did enough for 2 there in the end. Nathan Murray keeps the scoreboard ticking over for Melbourne for now, but they might need a bit more than 1s and 2s coming to the last 15 or so ends of this game. They still trail by about 10 or 15. You can see the graph there. It's Ryan Tainton's Rink that was doing the damage early on. For Deer Park in the green in the top right-hand corner there, and Matty Bouse, as you can see, quite a few numbers have been picked out throughout the evening. Ben Fern Rink. 23-19, the scoreline there.
Yeah, I think that was one of the ones, the Fern Rink was one that was sort of up early, that was really sort of keeping in the game. Though that being said, though, the Murray Rink's come back very well. They're just 7 the difference now, whereas I think at one stage it got out to like maybe 12 or so. So I think just going this longer length, they have got back into the game since that rain break. But great opening bowl here from Chris. They did sort of elect to play a more 3/4 length when they got the mat back. I thought they might shorten it up, and I guess that's probably just to keep them in touch a little bit with the longer ends. All right, Simon's chasing this one down. I think he likes it. And, pretty handy bowl. Got a bit of chalk, but it has gone back to that good opening bowl from Chris Green. So he's pretty much just got to play the same bowl. I apologise, Chris, when you're watching this later. I've been putting the mickey on everyone tonight, so... Right, that young Sheriff Rink. Bryce jumped out to a big start early, and Sheriff sort of got back, and now they're sort of neck and neck for the 2 points as they get towards the finish line. So should be a big finish on that rink. Spur Tainton Rink, Tainton Rink got out to a big lead as well too, and Spurry sort of come back. And again, they're going to be sort of tussling it out, those last 5 ends, just looking to see who can grab the 2 points. See if RJ can just sort of make his correction here. The way that Simons is... Oh, Got the jack. I was going to say, the way he's sitting on that bowler, Chris is there, he could contact it and pop it out, but trailing the jack into the ditch also works.
For those still hanging on to an update out of Altona tonight, the game was abandoned through 46 ends due to the rain. So they'll split the points at 9 apiece. Altona were about 5 or 10 up overall, but not enough ends to constitute a result.
I think there's quite a bit more rain predicted tomorrow. I'm not sure if there still is. There was the other day when I looked, so I wonder if there might be a few more washouts over the weekend as we get into the big chunk of our Pennant games. So I think that tomorrow I looked and it was anything going to be anything between 2 and 15 mils or something. I guess it covers off such a large amount of area in Melbourne. 2 to 15 is a bit of a deviation, but I guess at the very minimum you're going to get wet. Tomorrow's now, well, based on here it's 1 to 8, but once I get back to the west it might increase. So, and it looks like a rainy week ahead actually. So not only have they had a change of length from going to a sort of a 3/4 to ditch, but they're now drawing to the ditch. So it's a bit of an adjustment for the thirds. Sounds like Sheriff just played a good bowl over there. Heard a few shouts at Omar. They're sort of in that position again, you know, Melbourne, if they can sit this bowl from Case. They can sit that one, then they do have quite a few seconds, but it does leave a bit of room for Jay to draw.
Earlier on in the game, Phelpsy didn't have too much trouble. What was it? Must have been the...
It was this way, so maybe was it the...
end very early on in the game where
I'm going to go
played
the
a good
fourth.
one to sit and stay.
Fourth end, I think it was.
See what he can come up with here.
Well, he played it very well earlier, so probably back him to do it again. That line, I'd say it's just draw line, but the weight looks like he is looking for the bowl. Alright, I'm trying to remember, did Deer Park have a touch of this end that maybe Jay could sort of like promote? Because it looks like, based on where the markers are on the ditch, there isn't a lot of room to draw. I think you'd sort of be drawing to the plinth because they're a little bit deep, the ditches here.
Asking for this one to get down. It just... travelling.
Ah, that's the Sperry we know.
Wow. Jake Green just put up
He just
a
played
signal of 4.
bowl over there.
Ryan Tate doesn't look too phased though. He's still got 2 to come, so keep an eye on next door.
He's a very, very underrated bowler, Ryan Tainton. He is absolutely exceptional. James has a lot of high praise for him, and he's generally quite a good judge of having been around so long. Alright, let's see if Phelpsy can get this bowl here. I reckon if he can sit it would probably bring maybe in that back one there of Simon's, but I think he's just kind of, yeah, gone a little bit under.
Just keeping it on the ring next door as well as away from Ryan Tate, and
He just went
sort of
through.
crushed a whole lot of bowls and in the process of doing so, didn't take any out. So Melbourne still possibly holding on to 3 or 4 there.
Spurry's still one to come as well too, and he's another very good draw bowler. You'd sort of back him to add to this. So a pick up here could bring it back within 10, which has sort of been, since the early stages where they were very neck and neck, they sort of haven't been able to break the 10 barrier.
Yes. Curtis got the tape out here to measure the result of this end. Next door, Brett Spurs turned another Melbourne bowl into the count.
Did they say 2 there, I think?
Ryan Tatum with 1 to come still.
Right, they're not giving us anything on the way past.
Wait for the confirmation, keeping an eye on Ryan Tatum, who's on the mat on the ring next door.
I think this is going to be a very... He's playing weight. He's got it out smoothly.
Oh, he's found a gap. What's that done? Not a whole lot. Melbourne will score. What is it though? That was a very, very quick
That was too quick.
flick of how many it was from Sean Ian.
But I feel like maybe he did take a couple out there,
Yeah,
because
there's a couple of the back ones.
I think if it was a
sort of
number,
scattered.
Melbourne would have been vocal about that. You know, just to get everybody up and about in the game and get their eyes on the main board. So I feel like it might have only been a 1 or a 2 actually.
Was a 2 on the stream Rink here to Nathan Murray's combination. They've done pretty well here, Sarah. They've won 5 of the last 6 ends. Generally 1 and 2s and kept themselves in the game, but Matty Bouse picking up sort of regular numbers has kept the score ticking over there for Deer Park on that rink.
Yeah, well, that was the rink that was down, so that's a huge turnaround from them. Whereas it was this rink that was on the stream originally, that was the one that was sort of, you know, up in the numbers and given the big lead to Deer Park.
Yeah, the reason the overall hasn't really changed is Aaron Sheriff as well chipping away over there. They've won the last 4 ends in a row.
And
So now hit the front going into the last end.
I was going to say, is that the first time they've been front all game on N20?
Just about would have been, because Bryce early on was leading 7-0 after the first 3 ends, and at Deer Park Rink have been playing catch up until now where they've hit the front. RJ with a pretty handy bowl.
Alright, so Melbourne are starting to get a bit vocal now, giving the cheer, letting them know they're still in it, eyes on the main board.
Oh, boys are interested in this from RJ, looking to sit this bowl through.
Shout out
Just
to my
for a good
sister who's
spot.
just tuned in. So she's an ex-Melbourne player. She has a lot of love for the Melbourne Bowling Club. She's up in Queensland though, so she's an hour behind. Looks like that's probably 2 there for Chris Green at the moment.
So we missed that. It was a 3 to Brett Spur on the rink next door. They've won 4 ends in a row and they're now tied up at 17 apiece as well. So in terms of the overall margin, currently sitting at 12 shots, 10 to play. Is there one number that can pop up somewhere for Melbourne, a big number, just to make things very interesting for the last half hour or so.
I think they've got him in them. Like, you know, Sperry's Rink just picking up that 3 there. Like, Tayton definitely did cut a few out. They've just kind of the whole game since Deer Park jumped out. I think 10's the max that they've been able to get it to within. So, I mean, I've been wrong all night. So if I say that I don't see Melbourne getting within.
Just call the opposite of what you think you're going to say, and that's what's going to get played.
I just think that they've had an answer every time, Deer Park. Like every time that Melbourne have sort of, you know, got within, somebody's done something. Oh, now we've got Hayley O'Reilly on the stream watching as well too. Love all the girls at home watching. And Hayley, she's a very...
So still getting dried out after a washout earlier tonight at Altona.
She's a very talented up and coming young bowler from Altona. She's playing in the Premier side at the moment, and she's bowling excellent.
Wouldn't mind Nathan making up his mind as to which end we're going to play from here. So it was a killed end for the second time this game, and
could they switch it over so that way we can get the camera on it? Go tell them.
yeah, run out there and just grab that jack quickly, Sarah.
Might have to go word him up if you're going to kill it
Tell
again.
Simo he's got to get himself down the other end to start this end.
You need to play it the opposite direction because that's where we've got the visuals. And again too, I still see there'll probably be a few more dead ones before, you know, that it is achievable, especially for Melbourne. Like, they love a good tussle, they love a fight.
Oh, just keeping it on the far end there. Aaron Sheriff's last bowl looked like they were holding one, but a chance to make a number and put the overall result beyond doubt, and in doing so,
Sperry up and about now. I think that's
Maybe
something
back
that
to
was sort of
one down.
missing a little bit earlier.
Yeah, they realise the game is not over by any stretch here. 12 shots.
No, Melbourne's
10
hit
ends.
12 shots and they're like challenge accepted.
Holding a good 2 as well by the looks of it on the Ben Fern, Matt Bouse, Rink, Melbourne.
So Brad, the superstar from SEN, has been out there trying to sort out a camera on that end. Watch this space.
Couple goodies from Chris Green. Boys asking Matty Bouse's last bowl over there to push all the way up. I think a couple down. He's may have even nearly got shot.
Oh, here we are back in business. Shout out to Brad.
Yes, Brad.
Brilliant.
Just in time, CRJ was nearly at the shot, enough a second for now.
Gives them options.
Bryce Young has fallen short by the looks of it on the last bowl, the last end of the far rink, and I think Deer Park have picked up a single, so Aaron Sheriff and Co have won the last 5 ends over there, and they'll take a rink win and play an important part in setting up this Deer Park lead heading into the final 10 ends on the big board. But in saying that,
played a huge ball over
Bailey's
there.
turned around the jack around the corner. 3 to Melbourne, with 1 to come from Matt Bouse. Oh, there's a bit of action at plenty. Another end for Melbourne on the Brett Spur ring by the looks of it.
So
Well, it looks there, Matt Bowes playing weight now. 3 down, a couple rinks across.
The boys are...
Not saying a whole lot. Oh, that's a terrible result from Melbourne. Matty's missed what he's going for and crunched a front short bowl into the head with weight. And instead of holding 3 Melbourne, they're...
They might be down.
Oh, I'm not sure. Betty Fern has one to come though.
I was going to say, Cactus has got one more to come. I would not write this end off.
And Curtis Hanley on cue. Turns Chris Green's bowl out the head for 2.
It's all happening on every rink at the moment, isn't it?
It's actually a 1 to Melbourne on the far rink. They've actually ended up squaring that rink 17 apiece.
So they drew, did they?
Was.
That is not what I got with the body language on that one. I thought it was actually a win to Deer Park from how things were squaring up. So
How's Curtis gone here?
he's
Just
just
set the
gonna
ball out again. He's
run a little
just
bit
on
high.
the wide side though. Yep.
Bowler Jack would be good with that weight for them.
Alright, so 11 the diff, and Ben Fern has one to come. They were holding a couple. Matt Bowes initially changed that.
Boys aren't saying much.
Close for shot. Don't think he's too far away, Sarah. Oh. Hands on heads from everyone in the Melbourne rink.
They've taken one out, so they still scored.
I think he was looking for the jack to move and it didn't go their way. He's found the gap and it's just one
down.
for Melbourne. So
I think
from where we were sitting, it seemed like Melbourne got a little unlucky there with a few bowls towards the...
Jack or bowl, I think, would have been a great option there for Cactus. But I think it just looked to sort of get the gap a little bit. Didn't look to be one, but somehow when you're not looking for it, you manage to find it.
Every time. As long as that's not tomorrow. For us.
Oh, for you. What position do you play? I've talked about leading all night.
Pretend to skip. Well, there's not a... Turns it once. Does it make it a little bit easier to get out? He's unlucky not to hold on and get it all the way through the head.
I was going to say, if he's got another bowl, it's probably actually better for him because they haven't loved playing on that hand. But if he gets a look at it on the other hand, which they're probably a little bit more familiar with, I actually think now it's probably better for them. So Jay's probably going to try and actually do something here to move the jack himself, just to sort of try and change it up a bit and not give Phelpsy another shot on that better hand.
Alright, Jay's pretty close here, I think, Sarah. Just got to tackle this bowl.
It's going to play it first.
It's the jack, and looks like 1 to 1.
I think that's what he had to do. You couldn't have given, like with the way that was set up, it was just made for Phelps. The better hand.
Well, still a chance here though, Sarah, to get the jack down the line here. He's got to get it to the exact right spot, but there is a chance.
Well, even then too, I think they've got the backers, so if he were to get the jack back into the ditch, I think that would be good for them as well.
Margin at 10 overall still. Just 6 ends to play though, so this is it. This might be the chance that Nathan Murray needs. Can he move this jack to...
So I'm just going to
Make
throw
a
it
few.
throw it out there early, but not really early. Do you think that Melbourne are going to be the on the live stream drawn rink specialists? Could that happen twice? Let's see what Phelpsy does here. If he pulls this one off, then I'm going to say they're in with a shot.
I think they need this one to hold. Can he get a piece of the bowl and the jack? Where's it gone? Well, it's gone to Curtis Hanley for at least 1.
One, maybe 2. Jay with a bowl to come, though. I reckon he will be absolutely loving a jack high bowl.
Yeah, he's a little stiff. Seeing the reaction there.
If he'd got that jack clean, he would have gone back and fed it.
Yeah, just needed friendlier angle or hold on for more of the jack down the line. They hold a shot, but at this stage they need more than singles. Jay's still with one to come, of course.
I can see Jay either sitting and staying or just taking it. Playing positive. He's got this pretty well.
I think he's just about got Curtis's bowl out, asking to get them both, and got both of them out. And where it looked like Nathan Murray was going to make a number himself, Jay peels both bowls out. He's played some absolutely whopping conversion with his last bowl on a few occasions tonight, Jay, and
Sure has.
that's another one off them, and makes it very hard for Melbourne as it just goes very quiet over the last 3 rinks that are still in play, Sarah.
Yeah. I think, I mean, yeah, look, those results are hard. Especially with the night they're having, you know, they're not bowling bad. They've been bowling really well. But just the Deer Park guys have had an answer for everything. And, you know, bowls like that from Jay. He's played a few absolute bombs at crucial points in the game. When they, you know, Melbourne have had a sniff on this rink. And, yeah, that can be tough sometimes. Especially when you're playing in conditions like this. So, you can see why they have sort of gone a little bit quieter out there as the game's sort of drawing to a close. We put this down on a pretty tight line, but that is the tighter hand and it's a shorter end. So
Worked off the front and then fought back onto the jack as well.
yeah, it did hold there well for him.
Premier A action continuing tomorrow. Of course, our normal 1 o'clock Saturday scheduled games. 2 games to be played. MCC still without a win in season 23-24. Play host to Clayton. And Yarraville Footscray will be travelling up to Bundoora. So, as always, important games to be played. Make sure to
So who do you...
tune in via the live scoring throughout the day.
I sure will be.
Not.
Who do you think... Who do you tip with those ones?
I think I've tipped Clayton in just about every game. I think I've continued that, and that's a call. I think I've got Bundoora just getting the job done at home, but that's going to be a pretty close contest, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Yarra will always do pretty well at Bundoora, actually. They have some pretty tight contests in the past, and they have recruited really well this year. So
all their marquees in action this week, Yarraville. They were sort of been in and out the last few weeks. Craig Mills coming over from South Australia with Nathan Black and Jaden Zeller.
yeah, so I think that actually might be a really good tussle.
And a couple of Bundoora marquees missing Corey Wedlock and Gary Kelly, so we'll see how they fare without them.
It's a bit of a good bad bowl there from Bushy. He added another counter, but he did open up the jack. Open up the jack and sort of framed it a bit. So, but he has bowled excellent tonight.
RJ's ripped one up the middle here. Got a piece of the jack, rattled round, and well, made it even harder for Melbourne. Unlucky, played a good shot.
I think this has been just how the night's gone on here. He got the jack, and it sort of jammed and then went forward for still 2 down. But he does have a toucher back there. I don't think it went all the way to the ditch. So options for the third and the skip.
Alright, Beddyford's played a pretty good one with his last over there. Matty Bouse with one to come, signalling he's going to play some weight. We'll keep an eye on it.
He's an excellent bowler. I think he skips at Raymond Terrace or St John's Park. I think it's one of those two.
And Sarah, it's a 4 to Brett Spurt. They've put on 6 ends in a row and now lead 23-17 with their last end just about to start. For the first time in a long time, the margin is back to single figures. Bad news is for Melbourne that they're running out of ends, so...
Yeah. I think it's, like I said, if that Spurry Rink, you know, when Spurry's a very momentum player, you know, when he's up and about and stuff like that, and it sort of wasn't happening earlier, but he has been these last few ends, so... And the rest of the rink sort of, you know, they bounce off that and they feed off it, so...
So the Matty Bouse rink has finished up. The boys are shaking hands over there. It looked like Melbourne held on to the end. We'll wait for them to hopefully pop it on the board and we'll get that updated ASAP. It was 2 to Melbourne.
So what did that end
Back
up?
and forth
20,
game all
27.
night. Plenty of numbers picked up.
Very tight now on the overall, isn't it? I think it's at 6 in it. Did I call it with the draw or what?
Oh,
Maybe I wasn't going to it.
Where has this come from? I was sort of just insane, to be honest. Well, what are you on about, Sarah? Maybe it is. Okay, 6 the diff. 3 ends to play.
They are very much never say die, Melbourne. But that being said, same with the park, and they've got this BYE-NORRIS rink on, which has been very dominant. So.
Yeah, the boys just looking to work out the overall as to what shot they're going to play here. The problem is they're 3 down and the Jack's right in between these Chris Green bowls, just to the left of centre.
That's it. When it gets close like this at this point in the game, especially if only a couple of rinks left, it does slow down a bit as each one waits to see what the other does.
Curtis is pretty close here. He's going to get this one through the Jack. Oh, peeled it off clean. Okay, there wasn't a lot of room to peel that one off without getting it through the Jack, but he has. Back to 1, but the problem is it's still very hard to get at.
I think as well though too, but it's a better back to 1. Before with the 2 there, that was going to be hard to outdraw. But this way there's quite a bit more room there for the guys to be able to get in and get a second shot. So that way if you have to go 1 down, then you do. Pretty sure they're holding over on the other.
Yeah, Joe looked at it. We'll keep it all on the other rink as well. That's Brett Spurring Cho. They've picked up 6 ends in a row. And 8 of the last 9 ends over there. And Deer Parker holding shot. Andrew Price has played an absolute bomb for just about a back touch up. So despite Melbourne is getting back as close as they have for a long, long time, both rinks that are still going are down on the head. What can Nathan Murray come up with? Look for ways, looking for the kill, Sarah. How close is he? Needs this one to move a bit more.
Wow. He did have the option there, I think, probably an edge off Jay's as well.
Yeah, it was an option, yeah.
But it just swung on him and he hit the gap clean. Looks like they're trying to do the kill next door as well too.
Yeah, there's a little bit of traffic up front for Jake Green to get after, just trying to maybe clear a path or...
Clear a path for Spurry.
Or restart. Oh, it's probably all in here. Sarah, though, on the stream rink, if Jake can add a 3rd in here and
Phelps, he doesn't kill it.
Nathan misses, that'll be it, so...
Yeah.
Well, to add this one in first without making a target. Boys asking for this one to hurry past. Oh, it's absolutely perfect. No target whatsoever.
A little bit of a target, but not much. No.
Oh.
Probably about a quarter of a bowl wider than it was before.
Yeah, I don't think it makes it any...
Any
Murray won't be
easier.
thinking that, yeah.
He's not thinking he put that bowl down and made it easier for me, that's for sure.
Just making sure that the kill and restart is the right option.
Probably just checking to see what... I mean, there's no time limit, I don't think.
Oh, Jake Reed mustn't have been too far away there whatsoever. Found it. Gap and hands on heads. All right, Nathan Murray. Throw down. Looking to kill and restart and keep Melbourne alive.
He's got such a smooth delivery.
Asking it to hurry.
Got it. Oh, didn't get enough.
Didn't get enough at the jack, and then
it's unlucky.
Turning around, you can see here, there was the jack just in front of Chris Green's bowl. Didn't get enough of it, rattled round, and
I think Simon's response there kind of said it all. Didn't it? Very, very expressive.
That'll just about do it. It looked like Melbourne might
be able to sneak it.
Out of nowhere, really. Spur and Jakey Wren just having a look on the ring next door.
So said
confirmed as 3 shots to...
But they've still got an end to play.
And Park, so 9 overall with 2 to play is the equation.
Spur can kill it and they can pick up a couple over there. It gives this Rink a chance.
Alright, so as we said, 9 down, 2 to play. And the Brett Spur Rink that's playing their final ends are a couple down in the head, and their shot bowls are back toucher, so Spur's got to look to try and kill and restart to keep this one going. I think he's actually clipped one of those front ones out of the way, so...
Do you reckon Ryan's going to play a blocker here?
Maybe easy up. See what he comes up with.
Actually, that one that's short on the line there, I don't think that was there before. Is that one that he got Nuggets to play as a blocker, maybe? I thought Nuggets had white bowls, but perhaps he's changed them again. That dark one up there's his. Not sure. I haven't been paying close enough attention at the... like I've just been watching to see if it's been killed. Well, Chris has left a bit of room here for Simon this one to give Melbourne a chance. He's corrected this very well.
Done well. Ryan Tatum hasn't changed the shape of the head next door. Brett Spurt needs to kill this with his last bowl to keep the overall alive. See what he can come up with. It's away. Yeah, missing wide, not a lot of noise for the boys, so... doing something absolutely crazy because Ryan Tatum still has one to come. Not in a position where they can give away shots, so...
She's just put in a pretty good bowl there.
A late push from Melbourne, but it won't be enough to see them get over the line, and Deer Park will pick up the win and keep their spot on top of the Premier A table after this round 6 matchup. Tricky place to come, Melbourne.
It is.
Done a very professional job throughout the evening.
It's actually very hard to win at Melbourne because the green does have a lot of tricks in it and stuff like that, and the boys know it so well. So I think Deer Park should be stoked with this result. Also, is another one for them in the little rivalry that there is with Deer Park and Melbourne. So they got them twice last year and got them again this year on their turf, so and I mean on this rink tonight, like Simon Leon has been amazing. Like he has led very, very well. But there's just been some big bowls that have been coming down from like Bushy and Case.
Yeah,
and then
I was going to say just the
when needed. You know,
Casey's played a few ones, and as we've touched on, Jay's played a
real big bowls.
few absolute game changers, just big conversions,
Whereas on the
numbers
other
down
hand,
to numbers up, and Nath's
he's just been unlucky. He's played some
missed a
big
couple,
bombs
yeah.
and, yeah. Just kind of like hasn't quite got the result, hasn't quite got enough of the jack, hasn't quite got enough of the bowl, so. But, you know, Melbourne have come out with a really big fight tonight. Like, this is a strong Deer Park side. Had a couple of players go out, but they've had some really good players come in.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier for them though. They'll travel to Moonee Valley next Saturday.
I
Deer
think that's,
Park back at home to host Altona.
yes,
Thoughts?
stand out of it.
No comment.
No comment. Yep. I always try and be very on the fence on the stream. I don't think I can ever be accused of being biased. But yeah, when it comes to my club versus James's, let's just say one of us will be sleeping on the couch.
Curtis Hanley just underneath there, couple down here. The boys will play this end out. Next Friday night, streaming continues.
Who have we
For the
got?
first time, we'll get to see Yarraville Footscray in action for their home game against MCC.
Oh, is that the one that James and Chris, I think, are going to be on the commentary for?
Possibly.
I don't think
We'll
it is.
make sure to tune in.
Yes,
7
make sure to
o'clock, the
tune in and
usual
find
time
out.
slot next week to find out.
I think Ditchside Disco has been very missed this season on the commentary. He was a fan favourite last year, so everyone will be stoked to have him back. Might just be tuning in from home with that one. James can go do the commentary, I'll just chill at home. Whoa, just missing.
Missing far away, so looking forward to that contest very much. It's J-Boy looking to add another just on the high side. Nathan Murray with the last bowl of the match, couple down. See what he can come up with. He's going to search upper here. I think he's a little
just a
bit
bit
closer.
high
He's just
again.
on the wide side again. Oh, he's flicked the wide one, and it's
Again,
hung
it's
around his
jammed
head.
and-
So the boys will shake hands. It's been an interesting night weather-wise, but they've
It
pushed through. They've done well to
has.
get the games done.
Traffic, weather.
It's been all happening. We had a late start, but it's Deer Park who have come out on top, and we'll get the win here on the overall. Sarah, thanks for jumping in the commentary box once again.
Always a pleasure.
We'll see you 7 p.m. next Friday out at Yarraville Footscray as they host MCC. As you can see the result there, it's Deer Park getting the overall win. Roughly about 10 shots on the overall. As always, we thank our streaming sponsors, the Moama and Dandenong Bowls Clubs, for bringing you all the action. And a big thanks as well to Brad from SEN for keeping us under control tonight. We'll see you all at Yarraville Footscray next week. Bye for now.